Good morning, and welcome back to Wacky Weirdo Hour. Boy howdy, do we have an action-packed lineup for you today. Get out your cup of coffee, enjoy your cereal, it's about to be a bit of a ride. Sometimes I'm asked, why do I do this to myself? Why do I dabble in the swamp of cringe? What's the purpose? What's there to gain from staring into the abyss and letting the abyss stare back into you? And the thing is, I unironically feel there's real value here in some lessons to be learned from the lunacy. Let's say there's people out there that haven't really experienced a lot socially in life, suckling mother's bosom, and has never really branched out from the nest to get their own wings and become the social butterfly that they are destined to be. Sometimes people might not recognize that the behavior they're exhibiting is not good and is bad, not productive, is not going to lead anywhere. So by going over some of these absolutely atrocious, downright painful exchanges in the dating scene or like romantic interest, I feel like it can serve as a scared straight kind of moment, like, behold, don't be this guy. And you're like, oh, I don't want to be that guy. What the fuck? He sucks. Okay. All right. I get it now. I know what not to do. Or maybe I'm just reading way too deep into all this. I'm not a fucking hero. I'm not a psychologist. I'm just a guy here laughing at some goofy situations. Anyway, the story for today is one I got tagged in a lot last night when I was at a Lightning game. So I actually watched it unfold in real time and had a sneaking suspicion that by morning this would no longer exist. The poster would probably remove it because things went out of control. That shit went cattywampus. And I was right. The posts were deleted, but I saved them. I made sure to. I said, dag nabbit, you're not keeping this from me. You think you can hide cringe, brush it under the rug, and I won't find it? Nope, I'm lifting that rug up with a big old smile on my face. I'll say, thank you so much for this, yum yum yum, scrumptious. So I got the Library of Alexandria of Cringe, and let's just go ahead and explore. I had to censor so many handles that were tagged in this initial tweet here. It was like a fucking CIA document with all the redactions. But anyway, I've got it in working order. I don't want anyone harassed here, including the original poster or anything, obviously, but I do want to go over this. So they made a call-out post out of nowhere. I don't want to be too rude, but I genuinely can't understand how this goofball, and then he tags the guy, got a beautiful girl like... and then he tags the girl. He says the dorkiest shit, yet has a massive following. I just can't wrap my head around how any girl would go for that. I really commend his efforts not to be rude. I think he did a great job of tiptoeing around it and being polite while also getting to the point. Extraordinary manners, clearly. Excuse me, everybody, not to be rude, but fuck this guy. He's got a girl and I don't, and he's a dork and I'm a Chad. What's going on here, guys? What an injustice. He's not ugly, but Sabrina is objectively hot, where he's average at best. He spends all his time on Twitter, unlike someone who has a full-time job and a ton of money he could use to provide for a stunning woman like herself. Nah, screw not trying to be rude. He's a loser, to be honest. Oh, he was doing such a good job of not being rude too, and then the wheels just fall off. It goes tits up. He really goes off the rails. I like how he's like analyzing this now as if he's a researcher studying the phenomenon. He's average at best, but Sabrina is on like a totally different plane. Like this something's not adding up here. There's something foul afoot. And then he had the gall to criticize that guy for being on Twitter all the time. Meanwhile, Goober is on Twitter all the time making whiny posts like this, just having a temper tantrum, tears in the eyes, shaking his fist. Why is she not with me? I want her. He doesn't deserve it. I deserve it. And then here comes the stone cold stunner right on his soul. So the girl that he was talking about and loosely tagging in his tantrum catches wind of it and drops the DMs that he continues to send her. She goes, I know your ass ain't tweeting this like you ain't been in my DMs constantly begging me for a chance like a desperate loser and refusing to take no for an answer like a disgusting creep. And here's the receipts, Twitter. Thank you for the receipts. God bless. I'll speak on behalf of all of Twitter when I say it's much appreciated. So it begins with, would you ever want to meet up someday? I'd love to see a movie or take you to dinner. Whatever you'd like. To which she responds, I'm flattered, but for one I have a boyfriend and I don't think you even live near me. Oh, I like to travel, so it's not a problem, lol. And you're not married, right? There shouldn't be anything wrong with hanging out. No, but I don't feel like your intentions are platonic, so... She was right. She really sniffed that one out pretty quickly. You don't need to be, part of the Scooby-Doo mystery gang in order to crack this code here. She immediately deduced that this wasn't necessarily a friendship offer. This was him shooting his shot. But I love how he just immediately goes like, well, you're not married, so I mean, like, what's the harm? I don't see a ring on your finger. And he continues, no, I'm absolutely being platonic. My intention is just that I want a chance to prove that maybe I could a candidate as well. Like maybe you'd have more fun with me. Just to weigh your options, you know? About to have me talking like a Sims character with that kind of cringe. Like, what do you mean? Weigh her options. Brother, you came out of nowhere in Twitter DMs. Why the fuck would she want to weigh options with you? Like, she's already in a relationship which she makes clear off rip and you still keep pressing. But you know what? Let's go even deeper here. We'll get into real fanfic levels of garbage and delusion. Let's assume she's in an open relationship and would actually, like, want other options, I suppose, in a partner. It's not gonna be you through Twitter DMs. That's just dangerous. No one's going to take you up on shit like this, especially not when you're coming out fucking guns blazing, fucking firing from the hip out of nowhere. And there's no possibility of that anyway in reality, because she actually shuts that down directly too. No, you're not, because you're still pushing something further even after knowing that I'm in a committed relationship with Blake, so there's no options. Learn how to take no for an answer. A lesson he absolutely refuses to learn. So he continues. I'm just confident in my abilities as a partner on all levels. I'm certain I can give you everything you desire, and perhaps better than he can. I apologize for persisting. You're just breathtaking, and I want you. I'm willing to fight for you at this point. To which she responds, there's no fighting for me, you don't know me, and you couldn't give me anything that her current partner doesn't. She lays into him. She lays down the brass tacks here. And basically he says, that's a lot of words. Too bad I'm not reading them, because he refuses to accept anything she is saying and only continues to exist in this dimension in his brain that is disconnected from the reality here. But I will say, he has piqued my curiosity. I have to know what abilities he's so confident in here. Like, balloon animals? Like, he learned a magic trick from Chris Angel? Like, what abilities are we talking about? Because it's certainly not like romantic abilities whatsoever. He's fucking cold calling like a telemarketer here through Twitter DMs. So he responds again saying, I had to give my 100%. If we're being truthful here, I don't think he deserves you. I see what he tweets and he's dorky as hell. You're hot and one of the kindest people I've ever seen on this app. What do you mean? Like, so I'm guessing he just like stalks her feed or something. He's like, he's making up this fantasy in his head where it's like, this is an angel and I should be with her, clearly. This guy's too dorky, too much of a dweeb, doesn't deserve that. It's so creepy. I have a good job and I'd be willing to let you crash with me at my place for as long as you'd want if you'd be willing to give me a chance someday. That's so generous. I mean, wow. He'd be willing to let her crash at his place? Wow. And they say chivalry is dead, huh? I don't even know why he's making that offer. I don't think that's something anyone would want to do. I don't know why he's making it sound like he'd be willing to make a sacrifice by letting her live with him when he's fucking obsessed with her. It's oh my god, it's so fucking weird. I'd take care of you, but you everything you want? Oh, buy you everything you want and give you anything you'd need. I haven't found any ladies in my area that share my same interests or honestly that are as beautiful as you are. I guess you just brought out my competitive side, lol. You absolute weenie. It's not a competition. And if dating was a competition, you're gonna stay losing with an attitude like this. I don't know why he's treating it like a game of Counter-Strike where if he just plays it properly, he'll go ahead and squeak out the W. She's already in a relationship. No matter what you do here through fucking Twitter DMs, it's not going to change that and she's not going to want to go with you. No matter how much you lecture her about why her current partner doesn't deserve her, which is an outrageously weird thing to do. You don't even know them to begin with. You are just someone that is stalking their fucking Twitter feeds, I guess. Like, this whole thing is super creepy. And he just doesn't see it. So she posts these DMs, and obviously a lot of people started dunking on him for it. And instead of trying to learn from it and understand why this isn't a good thing, he takes it as another opportunity to proclaim his love for this stranger. He says, "You have to be lying. Why is everyone acting like I'm crazy? Sabrina is drop-dead, sexy. Block A or Blake, whatever the fuck, is not. He's painfully average and mediocre at best. As I said before, he ain't ugly, but compared to her, he might as well be. Sabrina's figure is what I'd call perfection. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I'm trying to make a simple point. Her hair is majestic, her face is gorgeous, and her body is literally to die for. Not to mention she's strong and takes what she wants. I admire that. And she doesn't want you, so admire that and come to terms with it. She will never want you. No matter how many times you make Twitter posts about her, obsessing over her. It's scary. It's unhinged. Stop it. Like, I don't know how else to like put it in plain terms. But even with people putting it in the plainest terms for someone to understand, he still just thinks that like his intellect is above everyone else's and no one's understanding his point. So after all of this kind of blows up, he then starts sending her more DMs about it. He comes back around into the DMs saying he didn't mean to put her on the spot, to which she responds, "You did. Now Twitter sees the creep that you are." And he says, "I don't think of myself as a creep. I'm just being honest and straightforward." And she says, "No, you're a loser and a creep who doesn't understand the word no." She's right. It's very blunt, but it is correct. The way he is behaving here is not taking no for an answer and being very creepy. Again, they don't even know each other. And he has become this obsessive over this whole situation. Like, even so much as saying, like, he doesn't deserve you, it's me, this and that. And he doesn't recognize why that's creepy. And I know that's not exclusive to just him. It's very important to have self-awareness and self-reflection where you can separate yourself from a situation, take a step back, and see how things look. He needs to be able to have that ability. That's an ability he should be confident in, so he can recognize that the way he has conducted himself here is creepy. You are a creep in this exchange, and you need to grow from it to not be like this going forward. And he just keeps going. "I thought you'd appreciate my persistence. I thought wrong. You turned the app against me. I didn't get any engagement before that tweet. People really lined up to defend that dude. I didn't think he was that liked, to be honest with you." It has nothing to do with the individual in this case. It just all has to do with you being creepy and people wanting to let you know that what you're doing is not okay. He's just not able to grasp the situation. And I also don't know why he would think this persistence would be appreciated. Again, you don't even know her. And being extremely persistent and annoying about shit is something nobody likes. Not even in a romantic partner, but in general, even as a friend. If you're just gonna keep like poking and pestering and like constantly prodding, no one's going to like that. She then explains to him again how what he's done is something nobody will appreciate, and he just ignores it and says, "Nobody on this app understands what my point even was that I was trying to make." What point? You're not making a point. You just keep saying how much you like her and find her boyfriend to be dorky and unworthy of her. What point are you talking about? There's not some like deeper underlying message that you're trying to get across that we're all too stupid to see. You're just being a weirdo for everyone to see publicly and throw tomatoes at. This is the last DM here that was shared. He says, "I treat women with the utmost respect, actually." That's the impression I got as well. Yeah, that's what I got when reading this too. To which he responds, "You don't when you can't accept the word no and objective women. Your loss, I guess." That's just a classic sign-off from like every single one of these meltdowns and bad romantic exchanges. Somehow it always ends with the guy saying, "Your loss. I'm actually like the best dude ever. I'm like the chillest, nicest guy ever, and you just blew it with me, so put that in your pipe and smoke it. You'll be thinking about that every night trying to go to sleep. What a big loss for you." I don't know why that's so common amongst all of this, but it is very interesting to see it every single time. But anyway, I just wanted to share this because I've been so fucking deep into these like weirdo romantic exchanges and all of that, so that's really about it. See ya. I know many of you read the title and assume that this is clickbait or exaggeratory, but it's not. You may not believe me yet. Wait until I show you the evidence, the proof. This is the most unhinged individual we've looked at yet. He's equal parts frightening and fascinating, tiptoeing on the fine line between intrigue and how are they not locked in Arkham Asylum. It's a mystery here. He's like the product of a science experiment gone wrong, like if Professor Utonium added chemical cringe to the concoction instead of chemical X and then created this weirdo. Since I've been down this rabbit hole, this bender of consuming awful romantic texts and bad dating stories and bad dating videos and all of that, this guy is now at the top of the tier list for the weirdest. Like all great fairy tales, it begins over Facebook memes. So he says, "Did you block me on Facebook?" To which she responds, nah, my profile got deleted, maybe, I don't know, lol, long story. Then he goes, you don't have to lie. I can just feel the sadness emanating from that line there. I can imagine him looking down and kicking his feet in some sand. And she goes, I'm not. You can ask pretty much anyone. The profile is gone. To which he responds, I'm not going to waste my time finding out you're lying to me. So now you're going to ignore me. This is, I'm assuming, a lot of time passing between those two texts. And by a lot of time, I mean probably like 5 minutes because this guy's fucking delusional. So he double texts her like, oh, so now you're ignoring me? Now that I've called you out on lying about this? She responds by saying, it's not like that, it's just I don't like being called a liar. He then claims, I didn't call you a liar, I just wanted to know what was going on. And then she says, I told you and you said I lied, dude. I don't even know why he's trying to pretend that he didn't call her a liar. He can literally look 2 text messages back and see that he point blank blatantly does call her a liar, basically. He's already off his gourd right now. He's fuming because this account that he follows posts memes that he likes, and now he doesn't get access to those memes, and he's throwing a temper tantrum. But really, at the end of the day, it's not so much the memes. He wanted to try and shoot his shot here with the individual who runs the account. He then tries a new angle by going for pity. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Just been going through shit. That sucks about your Facebook. And then he's able to almost cobble together a normal human interaction here. She goes, shit happens, it's cool. Just been in my head and your memes brighten my day. I got weird because I didn't do anything wrong for you to block me like that. My memes actually got me banned. This reminds me of like the potion seller video on YouTube a while back. You can't handle my strongest potions, traveler. But in this case, it's memes for Facebook. And he just goes, for real? That's crazy. You post them all the time though. It must be something fucked up, haha. Well, if you made another Facebook, you better add me first. I'll be waiting, JK. To which she just tries to close it out by saying, lol. Yeah. Next chapter in this cringe anime is him trying to pull out the Riz here, trying to showcase his game. So what are you doing, dork? Haha, causing more trouble for Zuck? He's going for like the playful insults kind of thing, like, oh, you dork, you fucking dweeb geek, what are you up to, huh? And she just goes, nothing, just hanging out. That's so cool! I love that with the exclamation point. He's like, whoa, badass. I bet you're kicking ass in Animal Crossing, huh? Is it that fun? It looks too much for kids. It must be since you keep ghosting me. Do you play any real games? To which she's baffled, saying, how is that not a real game? So again, a certain amount of time elapses between his first message with the, that's so cool, NPC dialogue, and then him going, oh, it must be so good you're ghosting me. So this guy's flipping emotions back and forth rapidly. His brain is all over the place. His fucking noodle is scrambled. And then he tries to like make an argument out of this, successfully making an argument out of this, by the way, by calling Animal Crossing not a real game. So he tries to get like this sort of elitism about him when it comes to gaming. So I'm assuming he came straight from Reddit and was just ready to get argumentative about like what a real game is, and Animal Crossing doesn't fit the criteria. Yo, you serious? Laughing emoji. It's dumbass animals or some shit being your friends. No real gaming, you know that. Oh, it hurts me to even just read that. And then she goes, well, what's a real game then? You don't have to get an attitude, I'm just making fun, dork. Oh, why are you getting offended? I'm just insulting what you're playing. Like, what are you getting all bent out of shape over? Oh, come on, calm down. What, are you on your period or something? Well, why don't you ask one of your dumbass animal friends to help you with it or something? Like, dork? Oh, it's so painful reading this guy's text, and it only gets worse. It gets even more outrageous. But he's so aggressive with everything. It's like he treats a text conversation like it's an active war zone. Rocket League is a way better game than that, but I guess that's not cute enough for you. Yeah, not enough sunshine and rainbows for you girly girls. This is a real man's Battlefield. And speaking of Battlefield, game like Battlefield, Cyberpunk, Far Cry, shit, Madden, that's a sport. And men like me play sports. I could help you play them. What a generous offer from this guy. Wow, tell me you're a basic white guy without telling me you're a basic white guy. You got jokes. Double laughing crying emoji. All that is casual shit. Pick up a real game, get on my level. I really appreciate that now she's just making fun of him directly to his face. I have no doubt she was laughing while writing all this shit just to string him along and continue to watch him embarrass himself like the clown he is. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm playing around, dork. Every game I play is so much more hardcore than what you just said. Witcher, Shin Megami Tensei, fucking Fable even. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. She started to insult his gaming choice, insinuating he's not playing real games and she's more hardcore. And he does not take kindly to that. Now he gets exceptionally whiny. Why are you being such a bitch? I'm literally trying to have a convo, that's it. And oh brother, it's the worst conversation ever attempted. I feel like I should have blocked you even if I did have Facebook. You're insulting my game choices. Which is all he's been doing is just insulting what she plays. I don't know why he thinks it's just some like normal conversation. And he keeps calling her a dork like it's straight out of Ed, Edd n Eddy or something. I don't know what he was expecting. Because they're weak AF and you're being a cunt over nothing. Whatever. She really hasn't even been even close to mean. Not an iota of malice from her here. All she did was like defend her game choices and then joke about what he's playing being casual. Which it is. Fucking Rocket League, Madden, Battlefield. Like, what are you talking about? It's not like you're some kind of hardcore gamer playing some niche shit. You're playing the most mainstream games ever. Like, it's so silly. I don't know why he thinks that she's some supervillain that's just been doing nothing but belittling him. He started it, and she's not even doing anything mean. Does your mom know you talk to women like this? My mom won't around. Why, TF, you bringing that up? That checks out. You have zero respect for me or anyone. You're just a fat bitch who does nothing and leads people on. You're nothing. Fuck you, I was being nice. If this is him being nice, I am so curious to see what him being mean looks like. He immediately just breaks down into his fucking soiled diaper meltdown. You're a fat bitch! And he keeps using the wrong "you're." He never even accidentally gets the correct form of "you're" in any of his statements here, which grinds my ass a little bit. But then he's like, you just lead people on. What? How? How did she lead you on? By responding to you? Granted, this is probably the first woman that has ever responded to a text message from this guy, so maybe that's, like, where things got misconstrued. He thought that since she responded to his initial message, she must be interested. This is so baffling, it's making my voice crack. My vocal folds are freaking out, because it's so odd that someone could have a rotted brain like this. No wonder you can't get a boyfriend, bitch. I don't settle for trash like your baby moms. You called me a liar, shit on my games, play even more trash games. At least they gettin' dick, unlike your fugly ass. You have no idea what you do. What does that mean? You have no idea what you do? I don't even understand what that statement's supposed to mean. Bet you have fucking herpes, you fat piece of shit. How many kids do you have custody of again, lol? How many of your boyfriends died? Which, I'm guessing these two must know each other through Facebook mutuals or something, so he must see, like, some of the stuff that she posts, because that sounds legitimately extremely personal, and if that is a real situation that one of her partners died, that is one of the most vile fucking things you can say to somebody, and this guy is an irredeemable, insufferable piece of shit. Wow, so this is what you do to get girls? Insult them? Again, I was playing, but you had to be a cunt. What do you mean you were playing? Your whole thing was just being aggressive from the start by just constantly spamming the word dork while insulting her playing Animal Crossing. She then continues to just take the piss, so she goes, okay, I'm sorry, I've been going through shit too. How are you at Rocket League anyway? And then immediately he just simmers down, he's back to like, good boy status. I understand, I'm sorry too. Going caveman mode. I'm pretty good, I can show how to level up. What's your ranking? Platinum. So you're mediocre at best. I'm fucking Plat 2 and Diamond 2, and I'm trash. In Rocket League, Plat isn't very high. That's where the majority of players end up. So he's not good. He's not good at all. What's your gamer tag? Y. So it also seems like he's lying about this, because no sensible person would brag about being Plat in Rocket League. So she's starting to catch him on a bluff where he's puffing out his chest and just lying about his Rocket League rank, which is even more pathetic. I want to see for myself. What console? What's the matter? You don't have an Xbox. I play on Switch. It's on all consoles. So he's starting to sweat a little bit like he's pressed against the wall. My gamer tag? Why? Why? Why do you want to know that? He tries desperately to turn this around into a situation where they can see each other, which sounds like it'd be downright dangerous to be around this guy. Why don't we hang and I can show you? What's your tag? I got trust issues. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, yeah, what is your gamer tag? It shouldn't be an issue, right? You're plat in Rocket League. You're a big guy, a big man. What's the gamer tag? What do you mean you got trust issues? Again, ignoring that. I'm just curious. It seems like you're lying. I'm not. And then she drops a meme. It smells like bitch in here. Which is just genuinely a normal, silly meme. It's not even, like, mean. If anything, it's clearly meant to be, like, a joke. And for some reason, this sets him off in the biggest way yet. A fucking atomic bomb in his brain here. And he unleashes the Godzilla heat breath. Cunt. Fuck you, fat piece of shit. You have no idea who you mess with. Go die. Everyone at Dress hates you and thinks you're a slut. I thought differently, wanted to give you a chance. I thought you were a nice girl and want to be your friend. I'm sure this was the best way you can do it. By the way, I have a fresh meme. Taking care of my kids, lying to women about my Rocket League rank. So she's just dropping some memes on him at this point here, just adding insult to injury. To which he responds, just kill yourself already. He's trapped in 2009 Xbox Live gamer zone. He's really fucking struggling here, treading water. I can hear the tears in his eyes right now, literally feel them through his sad texting. Forever hard-stuck plat in Rocket League and forever hard-stuck being alone in life with an attitude like this. What an absolute curse. He just continues speaking like an anime villain. Fucking with me, you slut. Wait, can I not get dick, or am I a slut? Pointing out a contradiction because he keeps calling her a slut and then also saying that she can't get any wiener. So he's all over the place. He's scrambled. Yeah, I'd bet you'd want it after this, you whore. Choke on a dick, whale. Just continues having a fucking conniption. Can't believe I wanted to build something with someone so dumb and nasty. And then, again, she just responds with another meme. Like, what do you mean you wanted to build something with her? You reached out about feeling like you'd been blocked and immediately started calling her a liar. What world are you living in? What fantasy land? What? You immediately start by calling her a liar and then insulting her choice of games and talking about how you're like a real alpha gamer, not like an Animal Cross gamer like she is. It's fascinating. This is what I mean. Like, it's actually intriguing how someone's mind could end up so poisoned. Like, it is hard for me to comprehend it. Like, I don't get it. He is so all over the place. Like, he starts by getting really mean and aggressive, insulting her games and all of that, you know, then gets really personal, and then she's able to de-aggro him by talking about his Rocket League rank, which it calms him down, feeds him a warm bottle of milk. And then the second she drops a meme making a joke, again, he explodes once more. It's just so peculiar. Anyway, though, here's the finale. Everyone knows you're a slut. A little fat slut who uses people. Again, this comes out of fucking nowhere. She didn't use you. She didn't lead you on. She didn't do anything besides just respond to your initial unhinged messages. Couldn't get a boyfriend for years. That's because everyone... She keeps going. Got too much time in your hands, but I bet your mouth is filled with someone's nasty dick. And she just goes, yep, not yours. That's the end of their exchange. I imagine she probably blocked him again, which is the safe thing to do. What a creepy lunatic. An actual fucking unsafe to be around individual. Like, this all happened over nothing. Actually nothing. Started because of not having access to some memes that he liked. Oh, painful. I had to share this one. I think this is now at the top of the food chain when it comes to, like, creepy people through, you know, romantic texts that I've been diving through. This one is a rough one. So yeah, that's really about it. See ya. Hey, it's been a little while since I've gone over some unhinged text messages. I had the itch, so it's time to scratch it. The backstory to this fairy tale isn't your standard affair. This is two strangers that got stuck in an elevator for about an hour. He eventually asked for her number, and she gave it to him because he didn't give her any weird vibes, no heebie-jeebies. It wasn't like something out of that dog shit horror movie Devil with the elevator or anything. So they started talking through text, and it led to this alarming exchange. He said, "How are you doing today?" She says, "I'm good, thanks, just went for an early morning swim." And then he starts to show his hand a bit. "I'd love to see that. Can I tell you something?" And she's getting suspicious. She's a little on edge here. Yeah. I admit, I was nervous being confined to such a small space with a beautiful woman. And she goes, okay, I don't know what to say to that, lol. And he just continues like it's a war story. I feel like I can see him lighting up a cigar as he's saying these things. The mind wanders. You're lucky you got trapped with a good guy. And she's confused, saying, what does that even mean? He was apparently super normal in the elevator, but now over text he's talking like he was Bruce Banner holding back the Hulk in that situation. Saying shit like the mind starts to wander with ellipses there just makes it sound like he was, stranded on an island, ran out of food, and was contemplating cannibalizing the other survivors there to keep himself alive, and he's like writing down the sailor's log. It's too much for me to bear right now. My mind, it starts to wander. I'm losing myself on this island. I'm going to slit the throat of the former captain and feed on his insides. Lord help us all. He continues, don't worry, I don't intend on harming you in any way. Which is a very reassuring thing to hear out of the blue. Listen, ma'am, I'm not approaching you with violent intent. I want to make that clear right now. I know you may have had it in your head that I was going to kill you. I want to put your mind at ease. I was never even contemplating murder. Or rape, for that matter. I was simply explaining that any warm-blooded male would be tested in that situation. Dude's trying to explain this like he's John Madden here. Appreciate the breakdown though, Reddit mod. Any warm-blooded male would be tested in that situation? What do you think would have happened? Like, the elevator malfunctions, you're stuck in there for a little bit, and what, he's just gonna turn into some kind of feral beast that's gonna be tearing her limb from limb like a wild animal? Just the instant the elevator stops moving, just something goes awry in the male brain, and they turn into the Tasmanian devil, making, like, Jujutsu Kaisen cursed spirit sounds as they charge at the woman that's stuck in there with them. But luckily, she was trapped in there with a good guy. Not like those other red-blooded males or cold-blooded male. What did he say? Hemoglobin-blooded males? What? I've already fucking forgot. But he's just being chivalrous here and reminding her how lucky she was, all the stars aligned, to put her in the perfect position to be stuck on an elevator with a stranger that's as gentle and as nice as this guy, who had no intentions of harming her in any way whatsoever. She hits him with some question marks going, I'm not following, because, this is all reading like a threat at the moment. And he says, don't worry, which is cause for concern, definitely going to start worrying. He says, you have the perfect body, those small breasts and soft, thick thighs leading to that voluptuous ass are delightful. Thank you for existing. Thank you for your service of pleasing my eyes in that elevator, madame. I tip my fedora to you on this good day. And she just says, and now I shall cease to exist in your life. See ya. That was the correct decision there, just to block them and hopefully never see them again in your life. That's probably the safest thing to do, because this whole thing makes it sound like he was considering rape or something and then decided against it, how he had to, fight against that urge that other warm-blooded males would have succumbed to or something. It's fucking weird. This guy is a weirdo. And here's another weirdo in a similar fashion where it's a complete stranger that just goes fucking insano style out of nowhere on someone else that is also still a stranger. These two are co-workers, they've been working together for about a week, and they play online games together in a group with other co-workers. So they're not friends or anything, they have barely known each other. He texts her saying, Kaylee, we care about you. Care. Please answer. I'm so sorry. Please talk to me. Now, I want to be clear, this is one person saying this, so I don't know why he's saying, we care about you. This is some Schmeagle shit with my precious. We got Gollum coming in right now. And she says, it's okay, I'm not mad. And he goes, please just talk to me. I cared about you. Still do. And she says, thanks, you too, dude. He continues to spiral. Why are you acting like that? I'm here for you, no matter what. Can we just talk on the phone? Just you and me? He's throwing up the desperate full court shot here to try and get the buzzer beater to win the game. I don't know what he would expect here. Obviously, she's not going to take that call. You don't know each other, and you're already being, obsessive. That was never in the cards. But let's assume she did. What were you planning on saying to her? Yes, milady, thank you so much for accepting my call. I love you. When can we fuck? Honestly, you're creeping me out. I've known you for 1 day at most. Stop. If that's how you see it, then fine. I really cared. That's how that's how the world sees it. Like, that's how time works. Like, you haven't known each other for long at all. It's like there's only one way of seeing it, and it's that you guys don't know each other at all. You're acting like we're best friends, and I've only known you for what, a week? This is extremely weird behavior that I won't deal with. It's okay. I'll find someone redacted. At least she's nice to me. Which is another one of their coworkers that he's now mentioning. Also, the poster here said that she mentioned to that coworker that he name dropped there about his weird behavior just to keep her in the loop because this guy seems fucking unwell. And she replies, "Nah, what are you talking about? I was never interested in you." Okay, fair. She was way better. Nice, at least. I was so nice to you and was even open to us. Which I don't really know what that means. Like, what does he, like, trauma dump on her while they're playing games together in ARAM? Like, I don't know. What does that mean? Open to us? Or, like, maybe he was open to being us, like a unit? A relationship, perhaps? Man, that's generous. He was even open to dating her. Wow, he really was such a fucking gentle sir. I can least admit that I cared at one point. I don't want to fucking fight. Neither does she. She doesn't want to talk to you. Like, in general. He's just making it sound like they're already in a relationship going through a problem, even though they are complete strangers to one another. I'm telling you to leave me alone, so leave me alone. And he just keeps saying, I cared about you, dude, like seriously. Everyone can tell you cared, you are obsessed. You are legitimately enamored with a complete stranger and being creepy about it. Everyone knows that's not something that's a good thing to be saying so much here. I will go to blank and report you. I don't fucking know you. I cared. It's weird pretending to be strangers, but honestly, fuck you. They can fire me. I have a better job for $26 an hour. That's how all of these go. You know what? I don't care. I never liked you anyway. You were gross and yucky anyway. You were poopy. You stink. Big stink. I don't like you anyway. You were lucky I was ever even talking to you. They can fire me. I have a better job anyway at $26 an hour. In fucking Narnia. My other job's so much better. Let them fire me. Tell them. Get me in trouble. I actually want it. So I can go to my other job full time and leave you behind. I'm happier there anyway. I cared. My only crime was I cared. I love how he says it's weird pretending to be strangers when they are strangers. She's not pretending. Like, that's just the reality of the situation. Not like the delusional thing that he's married himself to in his mind. They are strangers. But yeah, anyway, just wanted to talk about these because they had me giggling a little bit today. That's really about it. So yeah. I hope you've been practicing your ha-ha-has, doing your laughing stretches, because we're about to have ourselves a real giggle fit here over this weirdo loser embarrassing himself in a big way. This post blew up on Twitter right now, so it seems like I'm not the only one with a naughty little guilty pleasure here who enjoys laughing at unhinged creeps. So the woman here has been talking to this fine, gentle sir from Bumble, and she asks him, I guess I'm just wondering what your expectations are from a partner. He goes, like, in terms of expectations from women? Or men, I don't know how you swing. And he goes, women, not men. He uses 2 periods here, so it feels like this was like very serious to him. He put his foot down on that one, so there would be no confusion. So then she says, lol, okay, then yeah, what are your expectations for your girlfriend, wife, whatever? Can I be honest about it? It might be seen as outdated or something, haha. To which he says, yeah, of course, this is a judgment-free zone. It's almost cute to imagine him typing that, like, can I be honest about it? And then she has to reassure him, like, yeah, of course, this is a safe space for a super special Sigma like you. And she's about to unleash the demon with that one. She doesn't know what deal with the devil she just made here. Now, while she might not be judging him, I certainly will be. I'm be judging this motherfucker like dread. I'm gonna charge him with the capital offense of cringe here, because it's about to get brutal. So he spills his guts. Honestly, I'm looking for a traditionally feminine woman, someone who isn't going to mind being the child rearer and homemaker, someone who's going to take care of her appearance and herself and just all around is content to be a female in our relationship. I know that's pretty anti-feminist or whatever, but it's just how I feel. Lol. So he expresses his preference when it comes to a relationship and a partner, and all power to you. I believe this is something called tradwife, a term I just recently learned with this post going viral. So forgive me if I'm not 100% familiar with the nomenclature here or what it means, but based on what I've read, it refers to like a stay-at-home partner who will cook, clean, and take care of the children. Basically anything you used to see in old black and white television shows when it comes to the family dynamic is what trad wife refers to. It even stands for traditional wife, I think. So he's just expressing that that's what he's looking for here, and she responds very positively to it, saying, "Oh, slay, I don't think that's anti-feminist or outdated at all. To be honest, that's pretty similar to what I want too, lol. Kind of my dream if I'm being honest." And he goes, "Really? Well, Raggy, we've got ourselves a real match made in heaven. These two are sounding perfect for each other. What they want out of a relationship and a partner seems to align wonderfully." So what could possibly go wrong here, right? I mean, how do you fuck this up? This is like fate bringing the two perfect soulmates together from the sound of things. So she goes even further. She's excited. She goes, "Yeah, double exclamation point." She's fucking pumping her fist here. "I'd love to be able to focus on making my house a home, working on myself, and just be taken care of without having to stress about expenses or money." And then here's where it starts to go tits up. "What do you mean?" There's cracks in the ship. It's starting to sink. He's got his monocle on. He's about to start investigating, interrogating. He's entering fight or flight mode because something here went awry in his eyes, and he's not too happy about it. So she explains, "Just that I'd love a traditional man who's going to cover my expenses and make sure I'm getting what I want. Someone who brings that kind of masculine energy." And he goes, "So you're looking for a guy who isn't going to mind buying you whatever you want and basically will just bankroll your whole life?" She's like, "I don't know if I'd put it like that. I think you're starting to see where this is going. You're about to see the fork in the road and we're going down the path to Insano style. So you're a gold digger / user, basically." And she goes, "More like someone who will take care of our family financially so I can take care of him and his kids, etc." And she goes, "No, LMAO, I promise," referring to not being a gold digger. "How is that any different from you wanting your girlfriend / wife to take care of the home and their kids? Feels like a double standard for you to call me a gold digger." Now let's break this down here and follow the breadcrumbs of his logic. So he wants a stay-at-home wife that will take care of the kids, cook, clean, do laundry, wipe his ass, wipe his tears when he fails his bronze to silver promos in League of Legends for the 50th time in a row. But when she expresses that she'd want a traditional masculine husband that would be working and providing financially for both her and the household, he takes a big issue with that. He starts wiggling his finger. "Well, actually, I shouldn't have to do those things. You're a gold digger for expecting that of me." And that doesn't make a whole lot of sense because as the initial tweet points out, he wants a traditional wife without him being a traditional husband. He then goes into a full soiled diaper temper tantrum meltdown. "It's not a double standard. It's different because the things that I'm looking for, emotionally stable, takes care of herself, good with kids, are inherently female traits. Good women naturally have that stuff. You're looking for some rich guy who can buy you stuff. That's not naturally part of being a guy, it's totally different. I mean, especially because of how expensive life is in general these days, you think I'm going to be able to afford a $500,000 house on one salary just so you can play dress up and not have to worry about a job? You expect to not contribute to the bills or the cost of living? Fuck you. I knew there was something wrong with you. No wonder you tried to humiliate me at the restaurant. I should have left right then and there." I would bet a large amount of money that that humiliation he's referring to is something extremely trivial that nobody else in the world in their right mind would actually take as disrespectful. I actually guarantee what it is she asked if she could split the bill with him or maybe provide tip on their date at the restaurant. And when she said that, he's like, "Oh, my pride! You think I'm broke? You've humiliated me and the whole restaurant knows it now." But anyway, let's go through this whiny wiener's diary. So he starts, no. "Listen here, harlot. These are inherently female traits. Being good with kids, emotionally stable, those kind of things. Being rich is not an inherently male trait. You just want some rich Chad that can buy you everything you want so you can suck all his money out. You expect me to buy you a $500,000 house on a one salary income and you don't have to worry about getting a job so you can just stay at home and play dress up? Which is a wild point to try and make because you are literally asking her to do that. You are telling her you want her to be a trad wife, a stay-at-home partner, and then you're just shitting on her for being a stay-at-home partner, just boiling it down to, "You're just at home playing dress up." So you're like belittling her for what you want her to do, blaming her for not contributing to bills or the cost of living or anything, when you are literally talking about how you want an angel that'll just be a stay-at-home trad wife. Like, I don't know how he can expect her to be a stay-at-home partner, taking care of kids, clothes, laundry, the household, the day-to-day activities, all of that, and also still having a job on top of it too to provide for herself as well as you. That makes no sense. You'd have to take on the role of the provider. You'd have to put on your big boy pants and really tighten your bootstraps to get a job that would allow you to live that lifestyle, because you would have to provide that in order for your wife to be able to do those things. Because with the expectations you have of her that you express here, she would not be able to get a job on top of all of that as well to help out. That's why the trad wife model also needs the trad husband on top of it that would be providing it. But he is right about one thing. It is nearly impossible to afford a house on a one-salary income in today's climate. This is actually something we've talked about quite a bit on stream recently, but the cost of living right now is fucking tragic. It is unbelievably expensive. You'd have better luck winning a house from a game show like Deal or No Deal than being able to afford one with just a one-salary income, because the prices are ridiculous right now. It's fucking horrible. So he is right that it'd be unlikely that with just him working, he'd be able to buy a house for his family. But in that case, he would need to understand that his partner would also be working as well to help with that, thus wouldn't necessarily be able to provide all the trad wife things that he would expect of his partner. So she responds saying, "My guy, chill out, because he is having a conniption right now. I never said I was looking for a rich guy or a 500k house or anything like that, just that I want a guy who can take care of me, especially if I'm raising his kids. How can your dream woman be the homemaker and child rearer if she's also working full-time to pay the bills? I have absolutely no issue with gender roles or division of labor in a relationship, but you're not looking for a traditional woman. You're looking for a maid and nanny who can also help pay your bills." And she is right on the money with that one. Absolutely fucking cooked him with it. That is exactly what he's pretty much describing at this point. He's not really even looking for a trad wife. He's looking for a fucking sex robot, basically, that can double as a basically nanny. So someone who's going to take care of the kids, take care of the entire household, but then he can still come home and stick his pathetic cock in and then call it a night with a brewski and passing out on the couch. And this is when the wheels fully come off. Fuck you! Just say you were only interested in me for my money. Next time you match with some sucker, tell him that up front so he doesn't waste his time with you. And then she says, "I paid for last night, my dude." So that must be the humiliation he's referring to. She paid for the meal that they ate together, and he still is fuming about it. He's still just fucking steam coming out of his ears about it. And then she goes, "What do you mean interested in you for your money? Shut the fuck up. My comp sci degree is gonna do way more for me than your business one ever will, bitch. Now I know why you're getting a finance degree. Probably so you can scout out the rich guys and try and steal their money." And she just goes, "If you're gonna curse me out and call me gold digger because I want a traditional man even though you want a traditional woman, something tells me you're not the type of guy I'm looking for. Lose my number, but I hope you have a good life." I really feel like behind his text messages, I can sniff the tears in his eyes. Like after he sent that final text message there, he threw his phone down and screaming and wailing into the bathroom where he locked himself in there for the next half an hour to calm down, splashing water on his face. These two, in the beginning, seemed to be perfectly in line with what they wanted out of a partner. This felt like a great match here. And yet, Goofball was able to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory here, driving her as far away as possible, frightening her, and revealing that he is a massive, unhinged lunatic and a big old creep. Like, what in the world? She even paid for their dinner last night, too, and then he still had the gall to be like, "You're only with me for my money." What? But the shamelessness still wasn't over yet. He came back later and then sent a message at 1:30 a.m. after all of this hoopla and just said, "Hey, you up right now?" Trying to booty call the girl that he just had this embarrassing temper tantrum in front of. Hey, sometimes you gotta just shoot your shot, I guess, even after you make an absolute fool of yourself. I don't know what fantasy land he's living in that would make him think that would work. I don't know what he was expecting. Maybe he thought the Men in Black went and neuralized her or something, so she totally forgot about these text messages. But that was never going to pan out well there at the end. I don't know why he thought he might get some action from it. But yeah, I saw this floating around today and I just had to talk about it a little bit. I am so glued to these fucking awful text messages and like these awful dates and romance stories, man. I am in so deep on it. Anyway, that's about it. See ya. Hello and welcome back to Weirdos in the Wild. The best way to start your morning is with a big frown on your face, so get ready to wear that with pride. We've got some really interesting specimen here today, so let's go ahead and take a peek at our first one. Our first journey begins with a cold call here like a telemarketer. This guy reaches out saying, "Hey, remember me?" And get used to seeing me spelled that way, because he only speaks about himself as if he's talking through the We Me channel from back in the day. And she responds by saying, "Hey, I think so, from blank," which is middle school. So they knew each other in middle school, and I'm assuming it's been quite some time since then, because then a couple months later he reaches out again saying, "Hey, you have kids yet?" It's already off to an odd start. They're clearly into their adult years here, and this guy's thinking about her from middle school, and then reaches out a couple months after making initial contact just to ask if she has kids currently. And it only gets more strange from here. She responds saying, "Hey, I don't have kids yet, why do you ask?" He goes, "Just asking, you have a boyfriend?" "I do have a boyfriend. Do you have a girlfriend? Can I tell you something?" And that's how you know this is about to go straight into the shitter here. That question, "Can I tell you something?" always seems to precede the most foul thing you'll ever hear in your life. I've read so many of these texts and watched so many bad romance videos recently that this is one of the more concerning questions you could be asked. Can I tell you something? Or some variation of it. I'll also just never understand the purpose of typing something like that. Just fucking spit it out. Say it with your whole chest here. What's the point in acting like some kind of shy anime girl? "Oh, can I tell you something?" Like, what's the response going to be to that? No? You've made it impossible for someone to shoot that down, because then the conversation immediately gets hostile. So everyone has to say, like, "Yeah, I guess you can tell me something." So just do it. Rip the band-aid off. You're going to say something ridiculous anyway. Just say it without asking for permission, because we all know you're just going to fucking blabber about it anyway. She says, "Yeah, what's up?" However, even if she declines saying, "No, you can't tell me anything, leave me alone, bozo," it wouldn't have stopped this maniac. He goes, "No grill frimmed." So I believe he has entered this like flow state of horniness and it's clouding his vision so he can't type properly. "When we was in middle school, I wanted, period, to do this to you." And accidentally drops like a fucking hyperlink here. Do what? Like, "When you were in skirt, I want to make you mine. Hope you don't get mad." What an outrageous creep. "Hey, was just thinking about you in middle school, and how in middle school I wanted to make you mine. Don't get mad at me. Tee-hee." Clearly caught off guard and uncomfortable, she goes, "Oh, it was a long time ago, no reason to get mad." And I think this emboldens him because she says, "There's no reason to get mad." So he starts rubbing his hands together. Oh, okay. And then he sends a message that he deletes. He unsends it. So there was something so bad there that even this shameless sack of cringe was like, "Ooh, no, that's too far. I'm using my mulligan." So he unsends it. But the original poster here, she apparently saw it and said that the message he unsent was saying that he wanted to pull down her panties and put his fingers inside of her. And then he goes, "If I were to do this to you, what, you let me?" The way he talks is so frustrating. It's so broken and disjointed. It's like communicating with Dobby if Dobby was hitting whippets. Clearly, she declined such a generous offer, saying, "No, I have a boyfriend." I mean, back in middle school. I wasn't interested in dating or sexual activity when I was in middle school. I wanted you really bad. Oh, okay. Gets him with the Eeyore really sad. Oh, okay. This is the craziest red flag conversation ever. This should be like a self-report straight to the authorities. This man is like dangerous, it seems. Perhaps that hyperlink he accidentally dropped in the beginning was a link to the sex offenders registry with his name and face on it. This is an adult man who's fantasizing about middle school. He's not even saying like, "Hey, I used to know you back then and had a crush on you." He is literally fantasizing about her in middle school and him wanting to finger her. That's concerning. And that's when all hell breaks loose. The mask fully comes off, the dam breaks, and he unleashes the demon. She says, I'm a bit confused as to why you're telling me this now, because obviously anyone would be confused getting this shit out of the blue. It's really creepy. And then he goes, 'cause dear. Oh, it's already such an awful fucking start. Dropping dear like this, it gives me the heebie-jeebies. In those days, I want to pull down your panties. Not even a little bit, dear. Or excuse me, not even a little bite, dear. You there, lol? Can I ask you a personal question? When you were in middle school, you there? He is so fixated on middle school in particular. That's the big thing for him here. And he keeps talking about pulling her panties down. It's so unhinged. You there? He keeps checking to make sure there's a pulse here, that she hasn't abandoned him and called the police or something. Can I tell you something that I want to do to you in middle school? Or you mad at me, Lou, lol. If you didn't have a boyfriend, you let me do things to you? You there? Surprisingly, she was still there and hadn't blocked him yet. So she says, no, because I'm not interested, I don't really know you at all. Somehow, she was able to resist his charm. I can't believe Casanova's silver tongue here was powerless against her. He says, I know, lol. Also, it's a bit weird that you're talking about a 12 to 13-year-old me and still being sexual about it. Exactly. It's so fucking weird. And then he just goes, hope you not mad at me for this things. And she says, please don't contact me again. The vibe I get from this guy is Freaky Fred from Courage the Cowardly Dog. Just reading what he keeps saying to her is so unnerving because he's talking about a middle school version of her. He's trying out that sexual predator riz here, I guess, and it did not work at all. I'm gonna bless you with a little bonus one here. Let me show you how not to flirt with someone you're interested in romantically. So it seems like they were talking a little bit before these screenshots were taken. He says, you play video games? Like, other than Candy Crush and Pokemon. And she goes, yep, what gave it away? Cool. Not many chicks that are, like, into real games. This is just your classic flop from a Redditor gamer, bro. Ugh, girls only like Candy Crush or Pokemon, fucking Sims or Barbie Jeep Racing. They don't like real games like me, a fucking man. Call of Duty, Battlefield, BioShock, Big Rigs Over the Road Racing, Madden 24. But you're different, m'lady. You're not one of those normal chicks that likes those fake games. You can appreciate these gems that I like. Most chicks can't do that. I don't know why. Must be periods and pheromones or something, but you are rare, m'lady. You like real games. Like, I just don't know why anyone would try something like this. It's just immediately confrontational. It makes you look like a whack loser. And everyone knows it too, so she calls that out saying, really? Gonna try that one? Because it's so pathetic. And he goes, what? It was a compliment. And she just says, whatever. And then that really sets him off. So, a guy who you are already desired to be intimate with gives you a compliment, you get bitchy, and then he doesn't get a response, obviously, and then it comes back later saying, are you ignoring me now? She said, you live in a different country than me. But the fact that he immediately just gets this out of control. Like, what? It was a compliment. What? Most girls are stupid. Girls go to Jupiter to get more stupider. You didn't go to Jupiter. You stayed here with me, playing real games. Why are you getting so bitchy about it? I was being nice to you. Oh my goodness, nice guys never win. And now you're ignoring me? Oh God. He also just types like a Redditor. Like, his response being, why? A guy who you already desired to be intimate with shows you a little affection and gives you a little compliment and you get bitchy? Like, that is the actual quintessential Redditor response right there. Just go full Poindexter on it. A man who you had already desired to be intimate with gives you a compliment. Then the whole conversation goes cattywampus and he decides to bring out the claws and just get mean. You're a fucking cosplay girl. It's not like it's real work. You get paid to be hot for people. And then she just goes, yeah, it's not going to work. Don't text me back. Goodbye. Totally reasonable response. This guy's just immediately shitting on her. for nothing she did wrong. She's done nothing wrong at all. This guy's just a loose cannon. Women like you are always so sensitive. I'm just being honest about things. If you can't handle that, I don't think you intellectually compatible with me. Oh, all the Reddit check marks are being ticked right now. I'm very sorry that you feel like I was being mean or sexist or whatever, but I wasn't. I hope you learn to be less bitchy. Men don't like that in women. And you're already past your good years. And they say chivalry is dead. That's how you do it, gentlemen. Excellent work here, and I have no doubt they're getting married soon. So he blames her for everything that went wrong. He seems to think she was being unreasonable and that he was just being honest, which is crazy. It's so sad how a conversation can go from seemingly normal to just being extremely combative because this guy is very insecure, I guess, about his video game taste or something. I have no idea. But he brings up video games in a hostile manner, saying like, oh, most girls don't play real games, but I guess you're not like most stupid girls. Like, I don't know why he can't see how no one would ever respond positively to that. And when she didn't respond positively to it, he immediately says that she's being bitchy. Just the slightest sign of her not really feeling what you just said there, and he just gets aggressive, and then gets even more mean and rude and nasty, and then still probably walks away from this thinking it was her fault. It's craziness. So he'll probably stay alone for most of his life, but luckily he's got so many great games to play by himself. So there's a silver lining there. At least he's a real gamer with those real games by his side. That's really about it. So yeah. Over the last couple of months, I've analyzed more text messages than the FBI. I have been glued to bad romance and flirting like a moth to a flame. I've been wandering the deepest, darkest pits of filth. It's like in Space Jam when Michael Jordan gets sucked into the golfing hole. I've been sucked into the asshole of the internet, and all I see is cringe down here. But today there's a new ingredient being added to this concoction. The recipe had a chemical X. Crime. This got posted to Reddit earlier today, and a lot of people sent it my way, and it actually reminded me of a real criminal case that happened back in 2022, and I actually found the case again through the comment section of this post, because I couldn't quite recall all the particulars of it, but there is a lot of similarities shared between that criminal case in 2022 and these text messages that this individual is showcasing here. So it starts with this girl's coworker messaging her out of the blue saying, "Hey." He receives crickets, no response, silence. And you know what they say, if at first you don't succeed, try being weirder. So he comes back around within 3 hours saying, "Hello? Is this blank?" She says, "Who is this?" And he goes, It's me," with a smiley face. "I just wanted to text you and see how things were." "Oh, things are going alright, I suppose. Not to come off as rude, but how did you get my number, dude? I mean, I don't mind you texting me, but I've never gave it to you." And that's when he lifts up the curtain and breaks the magician's code, revealing his secret method. "I just grabbed it off the contact sheet in the office room. Hope that's alright." To which she says nothing in response because that is fucking creepy. She never gave him her number. He just went out of his way to find it from their workplace. Yucky. But he comes back around saying, "How's it going?" And he just keeps going, throwing questions at the wind here, hoping to receive even the slightest semblance of life on the other side, not realizing that he has already scared her by snooping around tracking down her phone number without ever getting it from her directly. So it's already super creepy to do that. So he says, "How was your New Year's?" No response. 2 days later. "Sorry to keep texting, but what are you up to today? If you're free later, I'd love to go out." I will never understand that kind of shit right there. How can you be so deluded and lost in your own little fantasy land Narnia that you think there's even an iota of a chance that she agrees to go out with you when she has ignored your messages for 4 fucking days? Like, what is the thought process? Scratching at his chin. Maybe she's playing hard to get. Perhaps she's just been truly swamped and has been really wanting to reply to me but just might be a bit shy and doesn't know how. I know. I'll go ahead and invite her out with me. That should make her a lot more comfortable. And he goes a bit deeper. "I know you're probably busy, but I could pick you up too, so you wouldn't have to take the bus anywhere. If you wanted to go out, that is. Sorry to keep texting, but I don't want to be out too late, so I'd appreciate a response at some point, smiley. I'm heading out to get coffee now, so if you want to join me, just let me know. Ma'am, you better hurry. The choo-choo train is leaving and Mr. Perfect is going with it. You only have one opportunity to get coffee with a gentle sir like this, so you really gotta play your cards right. She declines, saying, I would appreciate it if you didn't text me unless it's work-related. I don't really know you, and I'm only blank. You're 5 years older than me, dude. This just feels creepy. I didn't mean to be creepy or anything. You're just pretty, and I thought it would be cool if we got to hang out, Smiley. No thanks. That's honestly so weird, and if you continue to ask, I'm going to talk to Lean about this. I'm assuming that's like their supervisor or someone higher up at the place they work. And then he goes in deep. He says, I'm not gonna lie. I've been thinking about you a lot, and I just want you to spend time with me. What you said the other day just felt rude. At least try and give this a chance. I know you're probably not awake, but I've been up all night thinking about you. Not going to lie, sometimes I like to take pictures of your ass while you're in the drive-thru window and I jerk off to them in the bathroom. I'll go ahead and take a courtesy pause here to give everyone a brief respite and let that nugget marinate in this sauce here because he just dropped a real heavy, spicy meatball on the plate. And when I first read it, I certainly wasn't ready for that because that's just openly admitting to a crime. I'm not a sheriff or anything, but I'm pretty confident that that's illegal. He'd probably be taken away in handcuffs if this information got out, which it should. She should absolutely report all of this. Now, somehow it actually only gets worse from here. This is just the beginning. He's showing his true face, and man oh man, is it an extraordinarily ugly one. I know that's messed up, but imagine if we fucked in the work bathroom, or if we went out in public. I honestly just love the idea of having a little helpless bitch under my control. I know you're so much younger, but you should give it a shot. Older men can be so much fun to be with. No one at work would have to know. Hello? Sorry for calling, but I'm really lonely and you haven't replied to me at all. Since the text messages are going unanswered, I guess he's resorted to actually just calling her, which is also being ignored, obviously, because that's the safest thing you can do is ignore it. So I can't believe the revelation that it turns out he's lonely. Who would have seen that coming? With smooth talking like this dude's got all the game in the world. This man's a fucking apex predator, a grizzly bear, a champion of Riz here. I can't believe that he, of all people, would somehow be lonely. What a curveball. He then tries to brush all that under the rug, trying to apologize for it. Sorry about last night. I got carried away. I know you're probably not even reading these, but I hope you have a good day, Smiley. I'll be thinking of you. I really don't see an issue. It's not like a romantic date or anything. It would just be getting coffee and food. And if you were in the mood, we could always go to my place to watch a movie. I know it sounds creepy, but why not just get out and enjoy the day together? What in the hell is even that? What are you talking about? It's not like a romantic thing or anything. You were just talking about fucking in the workplace bathroom. And then you were talking about having a helpless bitch under your control. What do you mean it's just coffee? You're already showing how extraordinarily creepy and perverse you are. What are you yapping about? He's blabbermouthing about a bunch of hooey. And that's when she finally does respond to all this and says, alright man, I'm probably going to report you to the police. You know damn well that I'm underage and you're texting me in the middle of the night like that. Fuck off. And then he drops her address and says, if you continue to ignore me, I'll just make it so you can't. If you tell anyone, I'll make this even worse for you. So it turns out she's underage, and he was well aware of that fact. And he also would have been even more aware of that fact, considering he snooped through the confidential workplace documents to find her address and her phone number. So it would have been abundantly clear that she is underage, and he didn't care. He still went for this full throttle. So he's also a pedophile on top of all of this. Now, he concludes their conversation by dropping her address to obviously try and scare her, letting her know that he knows where she lives and he can always pay her a visit. And a lot of people in the comments, and I think a lot of people in general, would assume that that's just supposed to be like some kind of scare tactic to get her to not say anything. Not necessarily that he's going over there right this instant to do something, but that is still a legitimate threat, and I imagine an actionable threat that the authorities can use. This is one of those situations that really shouldn't be taken lightly, and it seems like it isn't. It seems like she's taken the proper measures here, like contacting authorities or contacting workplace staff and all that, which is what she should be doing. because this is just legitimately dangerous. I mentioned at the start that it reminded me of a case from 2022 where a man killed his 17-year-old coworker because he had a huge crush on her, and since he couldn't have her, nobody could. Her name was Riley Whitelaw, and she was murdered at her place of work by this individual. He recently got sentenced in October of 2023 for the murder, and it is just horrifying. Now, Riley had previously made a complaint to the employment about how uncomfortable he made her with like the advances that he would make on her and all of that, and even asked to like have her schedule changed so they wouldn't have to work together. And despite all of that, they still worked together. The place of employment did not change her schedule around to get her away from him or anything like that. They continued to work together despite all of her complaints until it eventually culminated with him killing her. It's a tragic story. Fucking horrifying. And it reminds me of the text messages we just read right there, where a coworker becomes infatuated with someone and then eventually does something disgusting like that. So reading through these text messages, it is a concerning individual in a scary situation. And it's something I think about from time to time about how awful it must be to just be doing your job, doing nothing wrong at all, and then still ending up in a situation like this. This girl never made any advances toward this guy. She never even gave him her number or anything at all. And yet somehow he still became obsessed with her and then stalked her company documents to find her phone number and her address and all of that. It's just so awful. She's literally just doing her job and then gets put in a situation like this because of this absolute lunatic. So yeah, just wanted to talk about it a little bit. I think situations like these should always be taken seriously. Like if a coworker or anyone for that matter starts to get like a level of obsession with you that it becomes a bit palpable, that you can start to see it, it immediately needs to be something that you take very seriously because you never know where it could lead. And I think that is just always something that needs to be handled with real care. So just wanted to go over this a little bit. That's really it. So yeah. My friend sent me something today, and I really appreciate that he was thinking of me when he found this. It's a text thread. Well, it's a very short series of texts between a very short man and his now ex-girlfriend, whom he broke up with because she had the audacity to wear heels around him. Now, I myself am also a fun-sized gentleman. I am on the shorter side of things, and I can see why Matt thought of me when he found this story here, this adventure. So the background is these two went to a party, she wore heels, he got really salty and upset about it, so he broke up with her because she was now taller than him while wearing those heels. So she's now trying to like process this and figure out what the fuck just happened because he had a conniption in the car and then spiraled out of control, so now she's trying to get some clarity here. I'm still so confused. Can we just talk? I never meant to offend you. I just really like heels and wanted to look good at the party. I'm sorry. Imagine having to apologize because you wore heels. Like, imagine being around such a sensitive fucking loser that just wearing shoes was offensive to him. Don't chat me, man. You're embarrassing to be around, and even now I'm not with you and you're still embarrassing. Do you realize what you done? I gave you everything and you threw it back in my face. He can't even use the right threw. This fucking goober. I don't even know how you make that mistake with threw. When you're actually old enough and mature, you will remember this time and realize you fucked up. This weenie thinks that she's going to be reminiscing about this relationship in the future, as if she's ever going to think about this little McNugget in any way, shape, or form after this, other than maybe looking back on it and laughing. This is such an over-the-top reaction to something so trivial. This is comedic. So I imagine she might think about this in the future as like a, haha, you remember when I dated that gnome who got fucking pissed off because I just wore heels once? Yeah, what a crazy time that was. Meanwhile, this guy is like fluffing himself up, thinking that he's like the best thing that's ever happened to this girl's life, and down the road she's gonna realize she made such a huge error in judgment to wear those heels to insult his masculinity at a party. She'll lose sleep over it, and she'll rue the day. I just wore heels, though. I don't mean that hostile, just literally confused. Seems like you flipped so quick, and now I'm just feeling confused. You're too masculine for me and I deserve better. Yeah, you're too masculine. You wore heels. That's like the most masculine thing a woman can do, obviously. You're way too masculine. I'm high value, and you are still a child and finding your way in life. Yeah, this seems like behavior of a high value male. Melting down all because you're short and insecure and your girlfriend wore heels so she was taller than you and you just didn't like that. Brother, you're short. Get over it. Like, you can't change it. If you hate it that much, go get leg lengthening surgery. Goober is whining about feeling like less of a man because his girlfriend had heels on, God forbid. What a sin. There's nothing high value about having a list of things that can't be done around you so that way you don't feel like a loser. That makes you a nuisance to be around. That's not high value, that's high maintenance. Goober. Like, he is trying to, like, hypnotize himself with it. Like, he stands on his step stool so he can look himself in the mirror and just reaffirm that, I'm high value, I'm high value, I'm high value. She's wrong because she wore heels. She insulted my value. It's not your fault. I understand you aren't very conscious and have baby brain. Oh, God, just reading that sentence out loud is revolting. I understand you aren't very conscious. What is he doing? Dating a dead body? Like, what? I don't think he's expressing what he means to. Then he's insulting her, calling her stupid, basically, for having the idea of wearing heels around this short, insecure loser with such a short fuse. It's absurd. I really wish that she had, like, started dunking on him. He is so sensitive. All of this, all worked up because his girlfriend wore heels at a party, which made him feel emasculated. I have a high value network, and when I'm around big people, I already love the start to that sentence. Big people. I don't know if he means physically or metaphorically, like, you know, powerful people, or if he just means tall people. This man just goes to a party and, like, with average-sized people, he just thinks he wandered into the fucking Elbaf land of the giants from One Piece. It's so fucking absurd reading the things this guy had to say. All over him being just so uncomfortable in his own skin. When I'm around big people who I can network with and elevate my business and future, I need someone who shows me off and compliments me. You're so needy, brother. Oh my God. Makes me look good in front of others. You're not that. Don't message me ever again. She did nothing wrong. She wore heels. That's it. It's not like she went out there and started insulting him or anything. He just lost his mind. He's going off his gourd here just because she wore heels and was a little taller than him at a party. Who cares? Get over it. You are short. I am short. It is something you're gonna have to come to terms with, man. It's not changing, unless you do want to go through leg lengthening. And even then, even if you do go down that path, you're gonna get made fun of for that too. You're gonna get clowned on. So your best bet is to come to terms with it now, instead of letting all this hostility fester where you're lashing out at people that have done nothing wrong with this short man syndrome of being, like, so hostile to anyone you think is slighting you. She did nothing to insult you. All she did was wear heels because she likes wearing heels. That's a very normal thing to do. If she was a little taller than you, so what? It is what it is. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's not that big a deal. It's not worth being this insufferable piece of shit to her all over that. And then, like, breaking up with her and, you know, just going ballistic for something so minuscule that doesn't matter. He talks as if he needed to do this to appease his high-value network that he's built up here, like some kind of fucking Illuminati or something. But it sounds more like the network he's building up is people that don't really respect him, and he doesn't want to give them more ammo for insults. He's like, geez, you're taller than me in heels. The high-value network that I'm around will not appreciate that. All right, you gotta go. Hit the road, please. You've insulted me. You've made me feel like less of a man. Like, how is that not just so shameful? Being short, it's not the best thing in the world. It's not like I love being 5'6", but again, I can't change it. And I'm not going to be mad about it forever. I stopped being mad about my height when I stopped growing at, like, 21, even though my height had only grown like a couple inches since high school. What am I going to do about it? What value is there in getting angry at anyone taller than me? Or feeling as though people look at me as less of a man? What value is there in me just constantly being on edge about that kind of shit? It's preposterous to get this worked up over it. This is now a message to all of my fellow shortmen out there. Do not be like this guy. Just come on in. The water's fine. Being short's not that big a deal. Trust me, it's really not. It's fine. Anyway, I just wanted to yap about this a bit. Had me giggling. That's it. See ya. Hey there. It's been a little while since I showed you text messages from an unhinged weirdo. I thought we were long overdue, so let's just dive right into it, huh? A little bit of context before we begin our adventure. This is a co-worker who's about to make like an ice cream cone in the Florida weather and melt down over absolutely nothing. Also, there's a Discord message that came through at the same time they screenshotted this from someone named Bastard. I don't know the whole story around that. I guess they're being contacted by Austin Powers or something, but it's not pertinent to the journey we're about to go on. So the co-worker says, "You get home okay? I just got home myself." To which they reply, "Leaving the bar now." "Well, I'm home and awake if you want to come by, lol." Drops his address. "If you want." I love that he uses this emoji. Usually it's like a winky from these awful pickup attempts, but he decided to be a little innovative there with one of these. I'm half surprised he didn't just send a dick pic or something at that point, like, "Hey, you're just leaving the bar, right? Do you want to come over, lol?" No big deal if not, I'm just putting lotion on my meat and then sending photo evidence of it. Shockingly, he doesn't get a response, so he has to spend the night kissing his pillow and going to bed sad, but he comes around the following afternoon saying, "Sorry, those last few texts were meant for a buddy at the bar that I didn't want to drive too far home if he was too drunk, and then when I called him it went to you by mistake. But yes, hope you got home okay as well." It's very important I mention this guy is 40 years old, and he is texting like an actual child. That tactic right there, I am sure everyone watching this has experienced at one point in their life, where you send a message to someone and you're like immediately embarrassed, so then you come up with a response like, "Oh, sorry, that wasn't me that sent that message, that was a buddy of mine, he just hacked into my phone and sent you that by mistake. I would never say that I liked you." Or, "That's gross, that's yucky." Wasn't me. I wasn't trying to invite you over to my house or anything. That was meant for a friend of mine who was super drunk, and I was just trying to save his life is all. Like, I'm actually a hero. I'm a super good guy. That message was truly a crazy mistake. Things then get super weird because he comes back the following day and says, "Yes, my friend, ... It's a shame, ... That's so cringe. It's like a Reddit mod cosplaying as some kind of Saturday morning cartoon villain doing this with their hands. "Yes, my friend, it's a shame. Sonic the Hedgehog, you've come to my lair. What a shame you didn't see through my plan." It's so odd and embarrassing reading that. "Always have been told what a gentleman I am," and he puts his pinky out, no doubt, when he typed that message. I can actually smell him through these. I mean, the physical stuff was both of us. I don't regret that, but the lingering bothered me because I think of a lot of you. I think a lot of you, as in the quality of person you are. No response. So you're gonna soon realize that he's actually illiterate. His weird dweeb speech didn't quite work with the "yes, my friend" angle. Still no response. So he tries again at 4:41 a.m. saying, "Hey, you." And then he comes back shortly after saying, "You honestly creep me out. Our bar is suffering for the first time since 2016 because we have a selling sandwich worker." I don't know what the fuck he's even trying to say. "Sure, you could learn, but it's all a joke to you. You're an idiot if you think my natural personality was like that. You fucking grabbed neck." So the dam's beginning to break here. Pandora's box is opened and every single emotion is flooding out of him right now. And the only one left inside of that box is sanity. He has forsaken sanity here. He immediately starts living in delusion and just spouting fucking gobbledygook. It's absolute garbage. I do love, however, that he says that they creep him out because they didn't respond to his 441 "Hey you booty call" text. That just sent him over the edge like, this makes no sense, this is incomprehensible. You really give me the heebie-jeebies. What is wrong with you? You didn't respond to my 4:41 a.m. text message? That's ridiculous. Everybody texts me at 4:41 a.m. That's like the most optimal time to text, and the fact that you didn't tells me that there is something evil afoot here. You're not right. Oh, also, I should probably explain that last cryptic message he sent with "you fucking grab neck." So what that is, the poster explained a little more in the comments. Apparently, they had given him a ride back at some point to his apartment, and he refused to leave the car and insisted that they go to his apartment together, but that obviously wasn't flying here. So since he refused to get out of the car on his own power, it led to like some kind of like actually aggressive struggle where his neck may have been grabbed and like pushed out of the car or whatever. So that's what that is. Can't see the top part of the text, but it ends with tweaking, which is super accurate to what's happening right now. And he responds, "Is this a group chat? Accept the rejection, learn from it, move on. Also, begging to go on another date with me is cringe as fuck. I'm tired of taking losers and trying to help them so our restaurant didn't look like fools. Doesn't. Date? Laughing, crying emojis. I feel bad for you, You. Okay, bye. Laughing, crying emojis. You are, what, 22 and act like 15. There is no date. Laughing, crying emojis. Thank God I finally got John here. I don't know who John is, but hey, fist bump to John. The savior has arrived. John is saving the day. There has never been a date. ... My God. ... What kind of weird-ass life do you live? ... I said we have crackheads at work and maybe we can go outside, and maybe we can go out besides that... ... If you didn't see that on Saturday night with the convict you are still and idiot and not who I talked to you about thinking you are mature and different... You are just a basic Lucy fly we have to deal with. The fuck is a Lucy fly? A loose fly? Loose fly? I don't know what that... I'm no zoologist, and I don't feel like looking it up. Scratch that, I just went back on my word there. I did look it up. Nothing appeared on Google search. Even Google was like, are you fucking dumb? Hey, excuse me, Charles, did you mean to Google this nonsense mumbo-jumbo? Loose fly, are you stupid? So I don't even know what word he was trying to put there, because there is nothing that even remotely pops up to explain that. By the way, the tweaking is on purpose to mock these idiots. Crying, laughing emoji. I'm still is the Marine Reserves. In. Trying to read his text messages is like trying to read Finnegan's Wake. This shit is incomprehensible. He is so angry, he actually can't type. He's just seeing red, and he's like actually trembling, fucking tweaking as he's trying to send these messages. But according to him, the tweaking is all an act. He's only pretending to be a tweaker to make fun of the real tweakers. We couldn't possibly begin to understand his galaxy brain scheme. He's 5 levels ahead of the rest of us simpletons. Damn, imagine being 40 and still illiterate and pathetic. Take care. Illiterate? Let me out it this way. I'm assuming he meant let me put it this way, but he immediately blew it. So after following up illiterate allegations, he proves them true right away. You've accused me of being illiterate? Well, check this out. How illiterate is that for you? Question mark. Crying, laughing emoji. You cannot be this dumb. I am mocking the way you talk. I would love to, like, get a peek inside of that noodle of his. What a very special brain. No, I'm not tweaking. I'm making fun of tweakers by pretending to be one. No, I'm not illiterate. I'm making fun of you. I'm making fun of the way you talk with my illiteracy. What don't you understand? You're so stupid, you can't even see that. Haha, I feel bad for you. Haha. I am 40. Served my country and stepfather well. Brother, I don't... What? You served your stepfather well. Where is that even coming from? Who asked? What ghost are you engaged with right now in this conversation? Like, what the fuck? I'm 40 years old and I served my stepfather so goddamn well. Why didn't he love me, huh? Why? You are a punk ass that thinks this is a joke. He know you have no bartending experience. I love the... Like, this has to be on purpose. He know you have no. Instead of just using N-O... It's K-N-O-W. No. This is so interesting. It's like a game of Mad Libs. It's so weird. He takes a shot on losers and hopes they do well. We have had some that turned their life around and helped us. Then we have the new age shit like ... Fill in the blank. but it's obviously becoming you as well. That you have no bartending experience, correcting his grammatical mistake as any scholar would do. You want to put some of the group chat, put this. You want to put some on the group chat, put this. Why? Be careful what you ask for. Why? So, like, he's self-aware enough in this rage to recognize how stupid he looks and knowing that this is going to be shared with other coworkers, I suppose, and just continues to keep digging a hole. Because personally, I call out every loser or anyone that makes us suck. I don't know if he meant to say sick, or if he's like, you're the reason this restaurant sucks. We suck 'cause of you, not me. I work hard, damn it. They reply saying, everyone knows I'm bartending for fun, and I have no prior experience. Seems like you're the only one with a problem with this. Everyone? Yeah. Are bartending for fun? You are bartending for fun? Fuck you. Stay away. This restaurant isn't for fun. It's a business, and we take pride in it. This is like actual We Are Walmart energy here. There's nothing wrong with taking pride in your job. I actually think that's an incredibly admirable thing. But to this level, where it's like almost delusional that this restaurant has become a part of your identity, when it's not a restaurant you own, this is just this is just a coworker. This is just someone that works there, I'm pretty sure. So it's not like it's his restaurant that's being insulted or anything, and this guy's about to go to fucking war for it. Who the fuck is everyone anyway? I train. Then, God forbid, the last couple months we had these losers train bar, and there is Joe. Who's Joe? Where's Joe? Joe Mama? What, like Joe Blow? Like what is this? We've got John coming out of nowhere, which is like this guy's saint. Now we got Joe, and the way he's talking about it, I guess Joe's not a good guy. That's one of the villains we should be rooting against. I don't know. None of this is for fun. It's family. It's work. It's blood, sweat, and tears, and you just proved my point of why I don't like certain people that mock our restaurant. Are you done harassing me? I feel like as he was typing that last sentence there, you just proved my point of why I don't like people who mock our restaurant. He was charging up one of these. Why I oughta. Getting ready to get the knuckle sandwich deployed. No, the drug videos are enough. Good night. That came out of nowhere. I don't know what drug videos he's referring to. The poster also doesn't know, apparently. Thanks for repping blank. And bring your trash to us. That's why he hired you, not because you worked for fun. We thought you had pride. Once again, please stop bringing your trash. The amount of times that he corrects himself, it's like a fucking English professor in a middle school. Like, just coming through with grammatical corrections throughout the paper with the red pen. And please, put our work group chat that you... And please put our work group chat that you bartending is just for fun. ... Just like the video of you doing drugs will go to the VP of USAA. Actually, I don't like you. Just as a military Marine vet will do it on my own. I will do it on my own. That doesn't clear up the confusion with the statement. So, let's assume he's telling the truth here. Like he has videos of this coworker doing drugs. What are you gonna do with that? Like, he's trying to be like a hall monitor here, but like, what... Are you going to report it to the police? Because, like, I don't think they're going to act on it. Like, my coworker smoked weed, here's proof. But he doesn't even say that. He's like, I'm going to the VP of USAA. So you're going to take videos of this coworker doing drugs to the VP of a bank? Why the fuck are they going to care? I imagine 90% of the people at the bank have used drugs at some point, and they're still doing business with them. Like, it's not like they're going to get outraged, like, oh, good golly. One of our clients does drugs? Cancel their accounts quickly. Freeze their assets. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. This is invaluable. It's so weird. And also, just for a cherry on top, the poster explained that they actually don't even bank with USAA in the first place. So he'd just be going to a random bank with a video of a random person doing drugs. At that point, you can just pull up a video from Reddit of someone doing drugs. The final message sent to this maniac was a no bitches meme, saying, I don't know what drug videos you're talking about, lol. And they did post another picture as well, where apparently this coworker was fired. So that sounds about par for the course. This was a loose cannon. This guy seemed very unwell. I had to share these because this gave me quite a giggle reading through these. Also, a nice little reading challenge to try and parse what he was even saying half the time in his messages. That's really about it. See ya. Rejection never feels good, it always hurts, and rejection comes in many different shapes and sizes, many different forms of rejection. Maybe you're like me, 5'6", playing a pickup basketball game, driving down an open lane, about to get this easy layup only for it to be swatted last second by a 6'6" freak athlete. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's embarrassing, but it happens. Or maybe you're finally shooting your shot with this romantic interest you've had for a while, only to find out they're not interested and they turn you down. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, I won't pull the punches here. It sucks. It feels like shit. But learning how to handle rejection is a necessary part of life. So back to my basketball example. What do I do when my shot gets blocked? Well, I get tears in my eyes and come up with as many excuses as possible, and I try and call a foul if possible, so that way we can run that back. So it's not my fault, it's they played dirty. And what happens when you get rejected by a romantic interest? You move on. At least that's the healthy way of doing it. Let me show you 2 unhealthy ways of handling rejection. This girl and this guy were communicating under the impression that maybe this leads to a long-term relationship. That's the context going into these text messages, and it starts, "I love it. Oh baby, I'll service you and your car from now on." Straight up Brazzers storyline type shit. And she responds, "Ha ha 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 ha. Let's go on a date before I get serviced. I'll be there Saturday, lol. I'm actually staying the night there too." And then there's a lot of like redacted information here, like a CIA document, so I don't exactly know what was being said in between these, but she says, Where do you live? Oh, okay. Got it. So far, things seem to be going well enough. They're making plans. She says, "Do you have plans for when you're here?" And he says, "Hopefully just you, but no plans other than that. Just needed a breather from my son. I'm going to book a hotel room tonight when my check hits." Which is starting to give off a bit of a weird vibe there. She says, "Oh, how old is your son?" 13. And then he says, "Maybe you could stay the night." She responds, "I don't do that the first night. I'm sorry." And he goes, "I don't mean all night, lol." And she's as confused as everyone else would be. So she says, "Ha ha 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 ha. What? You said stay the night." "I meant like hang out at the room after dinner. Maybe cuddle up. I'm a huge fan of cuddles and the best in the world at giving full body massages." I highly doubt that. I'm going to need some citation for that. I don't believe you. That's not what I usually do after first dates. I just don't think we're on the same page with dating. That's totally okay. Just not a match. So she's taking this in stride, she's like, hey, is what it is. And then he keeps going. "Exceptions could be made." "What? Lol, what do you mean?" "I mean dinner. Hang out. And eat between your legs like a Sunday lunch buffet after dinner. Lol. Clap them cheeks too." So she's very gently saying no to this guy. And this is the approach that a lot of dudes take with the car salesman type shit. Don't take no for an answer. So he continues to just keep pushing like, no. What if I, the world's best full body masseuse, give you a happy ending? Where I eat your pussy like corn on the cob. I'll chew on your clit till it bleeds and I bust. How about then? How about that? How does that sound? I'll even clap your cheeks too. As a little added bonus on top of my service. So, when are you coming over? Are you out the door yet? Unsurprisingly, this last-ditch effort didn't work, she says, "So you don't know how to listen, cool. Don't make exceptions for men who don't respect my boundaries." Fair enough. She said no, and he continued to be weird about it. It's a really fucked mentality to not accept a no and keep pushing. It's just creepy behavior that's never going to amount to anything positive ever. When someone declines something or tells you no to something, you should really accept that, respect that, and just move on. It's not like you're gonna change their mind by being an annoying pest about it. Like, oh wait, what? Rejection? Wait a minute. You're not thinking this through. What if I clapped your cheeks? You failed to think about that, didn't you? Yeah. So if I clapped your cheeks, now I assume you won't be rejecting me? What do you mean you're calling the police? This one's a masterclass on how to respond to rejection like an unhinged lunatic, so this one's getting extremely angry when getting told no. I don't know what the conversation is here. These two had met on like a dating app and they were talking. He says Mario, so perhaps the question was, who was Luigi trying to save in Luigi's Mansion? I don't know, maybe they were playing a trivia game. She says, okay.
She doesn't seem super enthusiastic about that response, so maybe she's not a fan of the Super Mario Brothers. Who knows? But anyway, he says, "How was the mall? Get anything good?" She says, "No, I didn't look. I was just returning something." And then she sends a picture of herself in an outfit. And he goes, "Oh, that looks really good. Gotta get you some lingerie." Admittedly, I don't exactly know what happened in between the last text we just saw with him flirting and then these. He goes nuclear here. He goes full fucking scorched earth out of nowhere. So I'm thinking that there's some text messages that were exchanged in between these two, so we're just missing an entire chapter of this anime arc that he goes on to reach the villain status. So she says, "I don't want to drive to blank for blank, I don't have enough gas." And according to the context she provided, they had apparently had a date scheduled, but she had to cancel last minute because of something school related, and now she was texting him back just to talk today. And there must have been something in between him saying, "We gotta get you some lingerie," and this. I just don't know what it could be. Maybe he invited her, like, to another place, and she just said, "No, I don't have gas for that." But anyway, he responds, "Oh, alright, that's cool then. Didn't know all that, lol. You said you had some school stuff the other day. Now is gas, lol. You dirty, fat, sloppy, broke piece of shit. You got no gas, but got gas to go to the mall window shopping, lol. Thanks for making my morning, lol." And she just responds, lol. He just desperately tried to spam as much hurtful shit as he could think of quickly, like in a League of Legends game when you get mad that your bottom lane's feeding or something. How else are you going to respond besides just laughing at this pathetic tantrum? So she hits him with a lol, which only sets him off even further, so he sends her picture back to her in order to keep insulting her. "Yeah, this shit is funny, lol, fat ass bitch, you pushing what, almost 190, 200? I almost find it fascinating how anytime one of these weirdos gets their feelings hurt, they always resort to just like, "Well, you're fat anyway. You're fat." Like, it always comes down to that. The second that they get rejected or told no or something's not going swimmingly in their eyes, less than satisfactory, they always default to fatty, that kind of shit, and then just go on this, like, long-winded rant about, like, "Actually, I'm the nicest guy the world's ever known, and I was doing you a favor by showing interest. You're fat at the end of the day. That's the big... I didn't want you anyway. I'm not crying, you're crying." This one's just a little bonus, a cherry on top of the rejection cake. It's not exactly rejection per se, it's kind of adjacent. So this is somebody's ex who just texted her out of the blue. He says, "You dead yet?" That 4:22 a.m. crack pipe's hitting a little different today, so he gets bold and brash and says, "You dead yet?" to her. And he doesn't get a response right away, so then tries to get a little more edgy. And then says, "I'm going to fuck on top of your grave and smear dog shit on your tombstone." And this does get a response from her. She just says, "Get a hold of yourself." That line from her made me giggle so hard I had to throw this in here. You have this unhinged weirdo texting at 4:20 a.m. asking if you're dead and then saying that he's gonna smear dog shit on your grave while having sex on top of it. There's so many logical inconsistencies with that. A, who's going to agree to have sex at a cemetery on top of a gravestone? That's just guaranteed to get some, like, demons and spirits haunting you for life. And B, why would you bring dog shit with you to have sex? Even if you found a willing participant here, I feel like if you brought a bag of dog poop with you, that's immediately going to ruin the mood and you probably won't be having sex. Like, this just doesn't make any sense. This guy's spitting a bunch of nonsense here, a bunch of mumbo-jumbo. And she just immediately calls him out on it, saying, "Just get a hold of yourself, you weirdo." It's so good. I just had to include that in here. Again, it's not exactly rejection per se. Like, it's not in line with the other two, but it's just something that I had to toss in. That's really about it. See ya. I've never had a threesome, and I've never had an experience where I read something so cringe that it made my tummy upset. One of these two things is about to change today, and I don't think it's the threesome. I just read something from, yet again, my deep diving onto the horrors of modern dating with absolute deranged weirdos. And the whole interaction was so mind-bogglingly peculiar that my body couldn't help but suffer from a physical reaction after finishing this adventure here. I don't know where these men are coming from. These dudes are just being printed in the Cringe factory and being thrown into the dating world as like the worst NPC encounters you could ever have. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive in. But before doing that, just a quick heads up. The Moist Global Retro Basketball line is still available right now. This is the best assortment of merch the internet's ever seen, so you can go to moistglobal.com right now and pick something up. Links in the description. I just read some of the backstory she was posting about this situation in the comments, and it's actually pretty sad. Apparently these two had been dating for about 3 years. It was a horrible situation all around, and a couple months ago she left and took the kids, but this is the most recent interaction between the two of them. She 100% made the right move in leaving. This guy seems like a fucking menace. But anyway, it begins innocently enough. That's good, just working away with 3 exclamation points, so he's having a jolly old day at work. Did you get to the doctors yet? She says, yeah, I have COVID. What did he say it give you? What? What did the doctor say or give you to feel better? Take Advil, Tylenol, sleep as much as you can, and quarantine. This is so timely because I myself just finished going through COVID over the last 11 or so days. And this is the 3rd time it's fisted me. It has gone elbow deep in my ass 3 times, and all 3 times that is the exact same advice I was given by doctors. Now, of course, you can still ask for like a Paxlovid prescription if you want. It should help with like symptoms, but it's not usually the first thing they give you unless you're someone who is at risk for like complications, I think. It is an option, but typically they'll just tell you that, you know, take Tylenol, sleep it off, rest, fluids, simple stuff like that. So it seems innocent enough here, and the guy she's communicating with almost seems jovial. You know, like when he says, just working away, I can already see him typing that and going, just working away. You know, one of these with a big old smile on his face, ear to ear. He seems like a happy-go-lucky kind of guy. And then it all falls apart. This feels like a real Jekyll and Hyde situation. He immediately just doubts her, doesn't trust her, accuses her of lying. Lol, so you didn't go to the doctors. Before this turns into a fight, just tell the fucking truth, lol. She says, I did. There's no meds for this. Yes, there is. Go to the doctors, lol. I need the address and the name of the clinic that told you there's no medicine. Also, the name do the doctors. They will be losing their license. So he's fucking spiraling immediately here. And I feel like this isn't exclusive to just him. I feel like a lot of men these days assume that every girl they interact with, even their significant other they've been with for 3 goddamn years, is some kind of lying, cheating harpy or something. So they're constantly interrogating because they don't believe anything they say. I feel like there's just so many dudes out there with this, like, insecurity within them where they doubt everything their partner says, believing that they're cheating in some way, and they're lying about something, hiding something, and it's fucking awful. So this guy's trying to checkmate her here with the scholar's mate, like, okay, then give me the name and the address, cause I'm going to call them to double check, cause I don't believe you, madame. She then says, stop being so fucking melodramatic, I seriously don't need this shit right now, there isn't anything they can give me, I'll be fine once it works its way through my system. He just continues to press, please, name of the doctors, location you want to, please. I know you sick. That's why I'm jandling this for you, and just need to know which doctor you went to. I can handle this properly. This guy has so much steam coming out of his ears, it's clouding his eyes. He can't even fucking type properly. He's typing like a caveman. He's going full Neanderthal mode here. Like, what in the world is happening in his noodle? He's gonna start jandling this? That reminds me of jelking. Like, that was an old thing on the internet where you're supposed to, like, masturbate in a certain way to elongate your wiener. Jandling feels like it's some kind of, like, sub-discipline of jelking. But anyway, she says, I don't need you to scream at the receptionist for no reason at all. Stop being ridiculous. I won't scream at anyone, just tell me the information. Skit K can handle this, please. If you don't provide it to me, it's because you're lying and didn't go to the doctors. There's nothing to handle. So just tell me the name of the doctor you saw. This douchebag is making so many typos, it looks like he's trying to transcribe the Scatman. I can jandle. It's like ridiculous how crazy he's going because he's so angry. I don't know why he'd even think she's lying about this. He admits that he knows she is sick. So why would she lie about going to the doctor? Well, like, what the fuck thought process is that? I know my girlfriend is sick, but it's probably dick sickness. She's probably hungry for cock and it's causing her physical pain. That's probably what it is. She didn't go to the doctor. She went to a penis appointment. That's what it is, and she's lying to me about it. I knew it! It continues to just get out of control. She says, lol, I shouldn't have to prove to you anything. I'm sick, I have COVID. She's absolutely right. She doesn't have to prove anything here. She doesn't need to try and, like, defeat his delusions. That's not her responsibility here. She's done nothing wrong. And he just continues, "You're not proving anything to me, lol. There is medication for this. I know for a fact, as I know someone else who had COVID last week. There isn't, unless you're old as fuck or have an autoimmune disease or your lungs are shit. Otherwise, you're just a carry through like normal fucking virus. Yes, there is. Let me call the do it. And I will get you proof. Where did you go, baby?" That comes out of nowhere. After all of this, he hits her with a "where did you go, baby?" I can already just tell from reading this shit, this guy is extraordinarily manipulative and a completely insufferable person to be around. But anyway, she goes, "I went to a walk-in, and frankly, I'm not going to allow you to cause a muck over nothing. I'm going back to bed." "What walk-in clinic? If you don't tell me, I'm don't with you. Because I'm not a ducking idiot, and I know you're lying, haha. You have 3 minutes to get me the address of the walk-in clinic or else." So now man's out here setting a time limit. He's dropping the ultimatum. "You give me the name, and I will hunt them down." Out here like Liam Neeson, about to track them down with his particular set of cringe skills. I guess his thought process was he just wants to confirm that she actually went to the doctor, because for some reason he doesn't trust her even slightly, even though they've been together for 3 years. I also imagine if he did call them, he'd start yelling and screaming and causing a big hoopla, because he seems like that kind of unhinged, deranged lunatic that would do shit like that. But anyway, the 3 minutes to get me the address of the walk-in clinic or else, that's it. Buy more chances for you. She says, "Fine, be done with me because I don't want you yelling at someone for no fucking reason." He says, "No one's going to get yelled at. You're just nothing but a liar and KM Jot a fucking idiot. I wouldn't have even called them, but everything you say is a lie, and you think I'm an idiot, and you can fool me. Anyway, joke's on you. Enjoy. Hope it was worth it, kid." His use of exclamation points and emojis is absolutely infuriating, but even more so than that, the cherry on top of the shit cake is him saying, "Hope it was worth it, kid." He's speaking like he's back on Xbox Live in a Call of Duty lobby. What? Hope it was worth it, kid? Oh, God, sickening. But clearly the reason he's using the emojis and the exclamation points is he's trying to put on this strong, masculine front that none of this bothers him. This is the biggest mistake of your life. You're going to regret this. But me, I'm laughing. I'm having fun with this. This means nothing to me. So much so that I'll drop a laughing, crying emoji and 5 exclamation points. Haha, not hurting me. She then says, "Lol, joke's on me because I'm sick. Great joke. Love that for myself. Love that I feel like I'm being dragged through the mud, fire, literally feel the worst ever. Great support, thanks. Joke's on you because you lost the best man of your life because you'd rather lie than tell the truth. Leave me alone." What the fuck? Oh my God. It's just so painful reading this. It's so fucking sad reading this, knowing that not only have they been together for 3 years, but I guess also have kids. Like, and speaking of the kids, his final message to her is this: "You got it, Buster. Have fun being a homeless narcissist liar that no one loves, not even their children." He just dropped a cold Buster here at the end, and then told her that she is a homeless narcissist that not even her children love. What kind of delusional, evil shit is this? He's calling someone a narcissist. That's unbelievable. Pfft. And then to say that not even their children love her? What? I don't know how you go from like, "Oh, where'd you go, baby?" You know, like, obviously, like, in love kind of thing, to immediately, like, "No one loves you, everyone hates you, I'm the best man that has ever existed in this entire fucking history of our species, and you just blew it with me. This is your fault. You're unlovable. You're a liar. Your children don't love you. You're a narcissist." Like, it's just crazy how quickly someone can become this. It's so fucking sad. She definitely made the right call leaving this guy. I'm, of course, no, relationship counselor or guru or anything, but very clearly, this is an unhealthy person to be around. This guy super sucks. This guy is a turbo fucking loser. And according to her comments, this was only like the tip of the iceberg. She actually called this interaction mild. So I can only imagine how awful of a person this piece of shit is. She definitely made the right call. And to think all of this happened because she got COVID and went to the doctor, and that was enough to set this guy off. That's
terrible. That's horrible. But yeah, like I said, I have been deep on like the modern dating scene, you know, travesty, seeing like what all's been going on and being posted by people online. I just find it all so interesting. So I can't help but talk about some of these that really get crazy. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. Normally when I cover text messages, it's about really creepy guys doing unhinged things to women through texts or videos, whatever. Today's a little different. This is only like the second time I've covered a story like this, where a guy encountered a woman and it was very different dynamic of things that happened. However, what I want to talk about here is actually the way that this guy handles the situation, because I actually think it's a masterclass in how to communicate effectively. I'll bring you up to speed on the lore that lead to these text messages. The original poster here on Reddit is a man who has been talking to a woman for a couple of hours, and then he receives these messages. Hi. I've been thinking about you all evening and can't get you out of my mind, handsome. I know it's a little early to say this, but I have such a special feeling about you. And he goes, oh wow, that's really nice of you to say. I appreciate that so much. She says, you're welcome. While you've been away, I even told my mom and my friends about you. It truly takes a rare kind of guy for me to be able to say those things so quickly about. I feel so lucky and honored that the stars aligned to have us match when we did. You feel too good to be true, and I want you to know that. And he's blushing here like an anime character. Oh gosh, wow. Gee willikers, goodness gracious. That's super nice. Thank you. Out of curiosity, what is it about me that stands out to you? So, again, they have only been talking for a couple hours in total, and she's already basically planning their wedding. She's telling all of her friends, her family about this guy, despite not knowing shit about him. Prior to this, they had only talked about their pets. At least that's what he said, mainly their pets. So this is a lot to take in here. She's basically creating this Hallmark movie out of nothing. Off rip. We only started talking a couple hours ago and only shared a few texts back and forth so far. So I'm honestly just curious what caught your attention about me, because that's very, very sweet of you. This may sound crazy, but call it a sixth sense if you will. I can read people like a book, and I already feel like you, I've known you forever. I don't know if you believe in past lives or not, but if stuff like that exists, I had a weird feeling about 30 minutes ago that we knew each other in a past life, and I have to get to the bottom of where and how. Damn, that's really crazy. It really is, though. Thank you for finding your way to me. And he just goes, haha, you're welcome. When asked what about him exactly drew her to feel so strongly about him so quickly, she says that it was a sixth sense. Basically, it's her superpower. She's one of the Avengers, and she has the ability to find her soulmate after only communicating with them for a couple of hours. She's like a vibe sorceress. She's able to pick up on vibes and figure out who's got the best vibes for her, and falls in love very quickly. Nothing here seems malicious, and in a vacuum, it's pretty sweet messages. But these are messages you'd expect from someone that you are actively dating or someone you have known for a long time and are progressing to that stage. This isn't something that you would immediately dump on someone's plate after only knowing them for a couple of hours. That's a lot of food to digest there. That's a lot to put in your pipe and smoke here. There's a lot happening way too quickly. I hope you don't think I'm crazy. I don't normally say stuff like this to guys, but there's something different here, almost like spiritual energy. I've been waiting for my soulmate for years and kept getting led astray by the wrong people, and now I think I know why. We have to meet ASAP. I'm so fucking excited to see what out energy in person is like. If it's this intense over text, I can't imagine how incredible IRL our dynamic will be. She's definitely seeing these text messages through a different lens here, because I'm not picking up on any type of electric energy. I'm not getting butterflies in my tummy just reading it. I'm not getting the tingles. This is two very different levels of intensity and excitement. She's out here full of jubilation, like she just won the lottery. Meanwhile, the guy's energy is the same excitement you get over finding an extra chicken nugget in your 8-piece box. Like, it's very different. But he still says, when are you free? I'd love to meet tomorrow, but I have therapy late afternoon and then work at night. So how about the day after? That would probably work. I can let you know for sure by tomorrow at some point. How about I take you to dinner? I would love that. I'm so looking forward to the first meeting in our beautiful story, handsome. Aw, lol. You're so sweet. I have to go to bed now for work tomorrow morning, but let's talk more tomorrow. Absolutely. Sweet dreams, sweetheart, and you'll be in my dreams. He says, sweet dreams. I hope you have a good night's rest. The next morning rolls around and it's a totally different ball game, sports fans. Good morning. How's your morning going? She says, good morning. Fine, and yours? He's the one with a lot of energy now. Great so far. You're hitting him with the Tony the Tiger. Great. Just had a meeting with my boss and got some pretty positive feedback, so I'm pretty happy about that. And she just one-words him. Gotcha. He immediately picks up on the tonal shift here and says, is everything okay, lol? Yeah. Why do you ask? Because you're being more short than you were yesterday, which is fine. I'm just trying to see if you're okay and if you need anything. This guy seems like an actual sweetheart, but this guy seems like a fucking peach. This guy seems legitimately like a nice person. And she goes, I appreciate that. Well, to be honest, I was in my feels this morning when I woke up to no good morning text from you. That's an odd thing to expect from someone who is legitimately still a stranger to you, but even still, he apologizes, saying, oh, I'm sorry, I woke up later and had to rush to work. As soon as I got to work, I had the meeting with my boss and then immediately texted you after the meeting was over. I'm really sorry for the misunderstanding. Yeah, it's cool. I just thought you were perfect for me and then this happens. And he's as confused as every other person on the planet would be. He says, I'm confused. Did I do something wrong? It's still pretty early in the morning. It's not like I went most or even half of the day without texting you. She then says, love is about prioritizing other person and you clearly prioritize your job and your boss over me. I'm going to let that ruminate for a moment. I'm going to let you go ahead and marinate in that text for a second. And now we'll proceed. He says, you could have sent a good morning text to me too, you know. Let's just pause there. Love is about prioritizing other person and you clearly prioritize your job and your boss over me. Yes, as he should. You are a stranger. What do you expect him to do? March in there up to his boss, spit in his face and be like, I quit. I'm going to go travel the world with this girl I talked to last night. We're going to go around the world in a hot air balloon, damn it. And you can't stop me anymore. I don't need this job. I'm out. What an extraordinarily selfish and downright evil thing to ask of a partner. Especially one that's not even your partner. This is, again, a mysterious stranger to you. They haven't even met yet. I hopped on Apex Legends on stream the other night and ended up queuing with a random squad mate in 3 consecutive games. I knew more about that motherfucker through him just on the open mic than these two know about each other. And it's not like I'd send him a good morning text, but like she's making this huge issue about not receiving a good morning text in a timely enough fashion for her expectations. He still sent a good morning text, mind you, when he didn't need to, since again, they're not dating and they really don't even know each other at all, but he still sent one. It just wasn't fast enough for her, and that right now is a massive problem to her. That is shocking. Why does it automatically have to be me going first? Plus, to be honest, we barely know one another. I don't think it's fair that there are already these expectations. Super reasonable from him. And he's right. If it really is a huge deal to her, she could have been the one to send the good morning text, and then he would have known and been able to respond when he could. She then says, dude, you are the man here. You're supposed to be winning my heart. That's your role. I don't want to chase someone. I deserve someone who will romance me and win me over. Waiting to text me until you get to the office shows your priorities are not what I thought they were. What the fuck? What are you talking about? He's already won your heart over by just existing, it seems like, since you... Oh, I'm farting. Yeah, that's how much I think of that statement. I rest my case. I'll let my asshole do the talking on that one. Not much more needs to be said there. He then responds, I'm sorry, but this is crazy. We are practically strangers and you're already making demands. I do romance whoever I'm pursuing. I'm a very romantic guy. I did text you early this morning, but because it wasn't done exactly the way you think it should be, I'm a bad guy. She then goes on to explain that she doesn't think he's a bad guy, but just doesn't like that he doesn't feel the same way about her as she does to him. She then also explains that the therapist she sees is for her borderline personality disorder, and she explains how that relates to what they've been talking through. And that made a lot of sense when I read that with the way she was acting throughout these text messages. And that is a very real struggle that I always have a lot of sympathy for, and I'm always wishing the best for people going through BPD. It's great that she's trying to get help through therapy, and I'm wishing the absolute best for her with that. What I want to talk about here, though, is how he handles this whole situation. Even before knowing about her BPD, which obviously he didn't since they are completely strangers to each other, he was still being very respectful and communicating effectively. He wasn't being combative or aggressive. he was being a very wholesome individual, and this is just an unfortunate set of circumstances. He responds by saying that he appreciates her sharing her vulnerability, and then says, "Do you mind if I share something that's bothering me a little bit?" And she says, "Yes, please do. I want to know how you feel so badly. Please open up to me." "Well, I'm a little scared that you're already using the word love in regards to us. We are still basically strangers and have been texting for less than 24 hours. And she just says, "Kay, should have known you weren't special after all. You're a normie, a basic bitch if you will. Normies don't understand or appreciate love. They will never know what we do." He says, "Who is we?" She says, "Empaths. I am an empath and feel things more strongly and deeply than regular people, something you clearly don't appreciate and take for granted. One day someone will see my gift and cherish it." He says, "I mean, I wanted to take you on a date. If it went well and we were compatible after a while, I was definitely interested in a serious committed relationship, but I do have to meet someone first to know that and hang out a bit first before I make that commitment," which again is a totally understandable thing. And she says, "Fuck off, bro. You're disgusting. I can't believe I ever saw something in you. You are not the one. You're just another schmuck in a long string of disappointments." Schmuck is a word I haven't heard since the Stone Ages, and I really appreciate that she dusted it off for this message. Schmuck is something that used to make me giggle every time I heard it when I was a kid. "I deserve better. Fuck you. You thought I loved you, but I don't, bitch. Don't ever contact me again. We are over. I never loved you. You lost the best girl. You'll never meet someone like me again because you're a normie who can't see or identify a gym. We are not the same. Love is not a lie. You were. You're the problem. Don't contact me again, basic bitch. You repulse me. Bye, loser." It's actually very sad reading these things. Like, this isn't your normal r/nice guy blow up moment where a dude pretends to be a nice person just to try and get laid, and when he doesn't get pussy out of it, he has a meltdown like, I don't love you, you're fat and ugly, and no one would ever love you. I'm the nicest guy you'll ever meet, and you just blew it with me, the alpha male. Fuck you. Get out of town, scram, swine. Like, this isn't one of those moments. It's not her fault she has BPD. But she's clearly not ready for a real relationship right now. She's going to need to continue to get help. Her having BPD doesn't make this hurt any less for the guy who just received this. He's done nothing wrong. And I actually think he is a great example of how to communicate softly, respectfully, and just being a pretty good example of like how to just be a normal person when interacting with somebody else. He also mentioned that he is still currently receiving text messages from her that continue to get scarier and more extreme, which is unfortunate to hear. It definitely sounds like she needs help with this to come up with more effective ways of dealing with her BPD, and hopefully she finds that help she needs. But I thought this was worth sharing, and yeah, that's really about it. See ya. I know my calm, composed, stoic demeanor may not give you any clues or hints at my internal struggle, but trust me, right now, I'm spiraling. I'm falling down a dark path I swore I'd never walk again. Like a former addict who finds the pipe once again, I have found my long since abandoned drug. I have become hooked on reading horrible text messages from dudes trying to get laid again. It's been many moons, and some of you who have been around the channel for a while may remember I've made a lot of content covering horrible pickup artists, as well as horrible text messages with self-proclaimed nice guys who are one gentle no away from letting the demon out and just flipping the switch to a full-blown conniption. Like, the word boyfriend would be, a Winter Soldier event that would have them just go ballistic. And I've made quite a bit of content, both laughing at the absurdity of it, as well as using it as an educational tool, like, hey, don't be like these goobers. But over time, I started kind of petering out from doing that, because I just made so much of it, and I stopped indulging in that kind of content until recently. I could only fight the urge for so long. The werewolf is coming out. It's a full moon, and that moon is nothing but fucking cringe. I saw some text messages today that I've just got to go over. Now, before we embark on this journey together, it's important that I let you know that these are two college students. As we go through this, you'll probably assume that it's two 13-year-olds, but that's not the case. These are two college students that worked on a group project together, and now we're coming in after the completion of the project. So, they say, I just emailed Professor the final draft, so we should be good. To which the poster says, yay, and then sends a meme, go team. I really enjoyed working with you. You seem like a very sweet and smart girl, and I'd love to take you out sometime. To which they say, that's very kind of you, but I have a boyfriend. Oh boy. She said the phrase, I have a boyfriend. There is no phrase more powerful in the English language than that. The strongest sentence ever constructed. That's like the nuclear bomb here. I have a boyfriend is a phrase, nay, an incantation, more powerful than Avada Kedavra from Harry Potter. And it's just been deployed. So you can already start to speculate where things are going to go south. He responds by saying, heh, well thanks for leading me on. Which catches her off guard. She says, I'm sorry, but I don't think I've done anything to imply I was interested in dating you, to which he responds, it's just funny how you never brought up that you were taken until now. Which is an interesting thing to respond with, because that makes it seem like he expects every girl that's taken to immediately state that upon starting a conversation with a man. Like they need to wear some kind of sign or some kind of label on their forehead that says, currently in relationship, not available, thank you. Try again at later date. Although she does say that she mentioned her boyfriend. Actually, I did. When I was at your house, I told you my boyfriend was picking me up. Which he's able to counter beautifully by saying, I thought you meant a boy that you were friends with. Because why would you go over to a guy's house if you're dating someone? And she says, because you offered to host and we needed somewhere to work on our project together, my boyfriend knew and didn't care because all we were doing was working. I'm sorry if I did anything to give you the wrong idea. And then he says, you let me buy you a pizza. Now, admittedly, I understand where the guy's coming from here. We all know about the law of equivalent exchange thanks to Full Metal Alchemist, and we have something like that in the real world. If you buy a girl a pizza, she is obligated to have sex with you. It's the pussy for pizza transaction. It's as old as time itself. So the fact that he was able to buy her a pizza and he didn't get his winky stinky is shocking. But yeah, anyway, he seems to really put a lot of stock in the importance of that pizza, like that was going to carry them all the way to marriage, like this is a moment she'd remember for the rest of her life or something, that pizza that he bought her. But I'd like to backtrack a bit just briefly. Let's go to the previous chapter where he said, I thought you meant a boy you were friends with, because why would your boyfriend be okay with you going to a guy's house to work on a project? And I feel like that's a dogshit perspective that's not unique to just this guy in this situation. I've seen a lot right now where people work under the assumption that if your significant other is doing anything in any capacity with someone of the opposite sex, it means that they're unfaithful to you and they're cheating. But I just don't really subscribe to the belief that most normal, sane people think that way. Of course, there are extenuating circumstances to that, but in this scenario, and in most scenarios like this, where it's just she's working on a group project with a classmate, I don't know why you'd immediately jump to, she must be a whore who's going behind my back to fuck this one goofball in her class and pretending that they're working on a group project. I just don't think that's something most ordinary people jump to immediately, and in this case, the guy views it as weird that she ever even agreed to go to his house to work on this group project if she was in a relationship, but I just don't understand why that would be viewed as weird. Like, where else are they going to do it? Like, if they go to her place and do it, it's the same problem, right? Now, she has invited a guy over to her house and she's in a relationship to work on this group project. Wouldn't that be the same issue? Or if they go somewhere in public and do it, like a fucking Starbucks or whatever, it's still the same issue. Like, oh, now they went to a public place where people go, like, on dates sometimes to do this group project. So you can always make that argument no matter what. So just, I don't know, it just doesn't compute with me. But anyway, back to the pizza. I offered to split when you told me you were ordering a pizza and you said it was your treat. If you'd like, I can Zelle you for half of the cost. Yes, I'd like that. And you ate more of the pizza than I did, so you should pay for like 2/3 of it. Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty math calculations here. Like, well, actually, listen here, Harpy. You ate more of the pie than I did, so you're gonna need to reimburse me more for it. And you know what? It wasn't my treat, because this Halloween there was only tricks. You tricked me. You lied by not telling me that you had a boyfriend. So give me extra cash for that pizza, you disgraceful harlot. She's being as gentle as possible here. I imagine she's scared of this individual, and she said as much in the comments of the post. She said that she didn't want to, like, get too aggressive back because then she'd be, like, afraid of what he might do. So it's just, like, I understand where she's coming from. You don't want to, poke and all of that. So she's just like, okay, that's fine. And I'm sorry again if you got the wrong idea, but I thought I made it clear that I viewed this as a professional relationship. Well, you didn't. And then he comes back and says, don't leave me on red. So he's getting very aggressive here. He's red in the face. He's steam coming out of the ears. Like, I understand why she wants to, like, tiptoe around this as gracefully and smoothly as possible. And it's something I've said a lot on stream, where in the current climate of things, it feels like everyone's more on edge than ever. Like, I've read so many stories over the last couple of years of people snapping at the smallest things, like even the most minor inconvenience. Like, this is a story I've referenced a lot, but it's one that actually legitimately sticks with me. There was a murder at a Subway where a man shot 2 Subway workers because they went a little heavy on the mayonnaise on his sandwich. Too much mayo was a death sentence for one of the 2 workers that was shot. The other one did survive. But I mean, it's things like that where it's never really worth pushing back. So in a case like this, I understand why she'd want to be really light about it. And I just want to mention that because I saw a lot of comments, like, not really grilling her or anything, but just really kind of wondering why she was being so polite in lieu of all of the aggression from this guy. And I totally understand why she would be. I really do get it. I just wanted to point that out real quick. But anyway, it wraps up by saying, I don't think this conversation is worth furthering, which is fair. And then he responds saying, it's ridiculous you even chose a guy to work with if you have a man. I bet he was upset even if he pretended not to be. Now, she explained this a little further in the comments. She didn't even choose him to be like her group project partner. Apparently the way the groups were chosen were people chose topics and whoever had similar topics worked together. So these 2 just happen to have the same topics. It's not like she went out of her way to choose this, benevolent angel to work with or anything. But anyway, I understand this was like a very short text exchange. It's only like 3 screenshots here, but I just think there's a whole lot to digest and analyze here. As we as a species have become more and more isolated, all of our socialization and human interaction comes from behind a computer screen now, mostly. Almost all of our interaction with each other is through the internet. So it's leading to a lot of people not knowing how to socialize or not knowing how to pick up on like social cues, and I don't even really blame individuals for that. But it's led to situations kind of like this, where this guy really views that her being off the market, having a boyfriend, should mean that she shouldn't do anything at all with another guy, even work on a class project with another man. And also, something as simple as buying a pizza shows some kind of romantic interest between the 2 of them, some kind of mutual romance. So when it turns out that she wasn't interested and it leads to a rejection, it's something that he doesn't know how to handle appropriately. And overall, it is just pretty sad. Yes, it is like equal parts entertaining with some cringe text messages, of course, but at the core of it, there is a problem where people aren't going out in the real world and making genuine human connections. It's all through computers. So when you are in the real world with real humans, you don't really know how to handle things super well. So something as simple as getting like a rejection is a much bigger deal than it used to be. And overall, like I said, it's just kind of sad. I wanted to just talk about these text messages because I got real deep on why. Why would this be the response to something so simple? And of course, the text messages are very silly, like with the whole fucking pizza side quest thing. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. That's it. See ya.